Of the world leaders meeting at the UN as airstrikes continue in Lebanon.
Since early yesterday, Israel has pounded Lebanon intensely from the air, claiming to have targeted more than 1,500 Hezbollah positions. Lebanon's health ministry says hundreds are dead, despite Israel instructing civilians to get out of harm's way. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today warning anyone with a missile or rocket in their home won't have a home for long.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Israel says one top commander with Hezbollah's rocket and missile unit was killed in today's strikes. President Biden urging diplomacy.
Full-scale war is not in anyone's interest. Even if the situation has escalated, a diplomatic solution is still possible.
In his final UN speech as president, also again urging Israel and Hamas to reach a ceasefire agreement for Gaza. Hurricane watches for parts of Florida's Gulf Coast over new tropical storm Helene in the Caribbean.
This has a potential to be a really, really significant storm.
Governor Ron DeSantis declaring a state of emergency in most counties for storm prep and warning areas still recovering from previous storms could get hit again, including the Big Bend and Panhandle. An unexpected revelation from a legendary NFL player. Fox's Jared Max.
Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre on Capitol Hill Tuesday before the House Ways and Means Committee to testify about federal welfare reform and disbursement of temporary assistance for needy families. While speaking before the committee about a defunct drug company that Favre had backed, he revealed a serious personal medical condition.
Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others, and I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Favre has said he suffered hundreds, if not thousands, of concussions in his career. America is listening to Fox News.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Cool time. Stay with us going through our Tuesday afternoon. Clouds with hopefully a little bit of sun squeezing out. 72 for the high. Tonight, all is dry, partly cloudy skies. 59. Wednesday, beautiful. Lots of sunshine and nice. 76. Thursday, increasing clouds in the morning. A slow development of showers and a couple of thunderstorms Thursday afternoon at 75. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
0.7%. Under Biden, they've declined 2.1%. So the American worker is the most vulnerable. So the tax policies he articulated, no tax on tip, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, they benefit the people that need the help the most to restore their income so they can meet the higher cost of living today.
Well, there you have billionaire investor John Paulson talking about under Donald Trump, wages, we're talking about real wages here, grew 7.7%. They declined under Joe Biden, 2.1%. Donald Trump is speaking right now live in Savannah, Georgia, and we're going to listen in to what he has to say because Georgia, of course, is of paramount importance for the Republicans to win in 42 days. Let's listen to Donald Trump from Savannah, Georgia.
But we're here today to talk about how we're going to launch a historic buildup of American manufacturing muscle and might. This is not a rally, although it feels like a rally. It's really a little event with my 5,000 or 6,000 closest friends in the whole world. But Georgia and Savannah are going to be right in the center of the action. We're going to rebuild our manufacturing, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen fast and beautifully. For years, Americans have watched as our country was stripped of jobs and wealth, and our companies were sold off to foreign countries. You've been watching, and it's been a horror show. I've been watching for many years, and we had it stemmed. And then all of a sudden, bad things happened. Bad things happened. But boy, I'll tell you, we had it stemmed. If we would have had 4 more years, everything, this would be such a different country right now. We would have had no inflation. You wouldn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. You wouldn't have had October 7th with Israel. The Middle East is blowing up. We could be very close to World War III with these characters that don't have any idea what they're doing. But what a shame. In Afghanistan, what a disaster. That was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, I believe. But GE appliances were sold to the Chinese. IBM computers were again sold to China. Under Kamala Harris, U.S. Steel is now being sold to Japan. I will stop it. We got to do fast. We got to work fast, but we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let U.S. Steel. 70 years ago, the greatest company on earth, U.S. Steel. Now it's going to be sold off like it was nothing. We're not going to let that happen. We'll build it up. We'll make it strong, but we're not going to let that happen. But with the vision I'm outlining today, not only will we stop our businesses from leaving for foreign lands, but under my leadership, we're going to take other countries' jobs. Did you ever hear that expression before? Have you ever heard that we're going to take other countries' jobs? It's never been stated before. We're going to take their factories, and we had it really rocking 4 years ago. We're going to bring thousands and thousands of businesses and trillions of dollars in wealth back to the good old USA. That's what we're going to be doing it, and doing it fast. And under my plan, American workers will no longer be worried about losing your jobs to foreign nations. Instead, foreign nations will be worried about losing their jobs to America. Going to bring them back. And it won't even be difficult. Your only worry will be deciding which job to take. There will be plenty of them. That will be your biggest problem. Darling, which company should I go with? We're going to bring them back, and we're going to bring them back at levels not to be believed, but you'll believe it in about 2 years from now. You're going to say, wow, that happened fast. You're going to have so many companies wanting to come in because this is where the money is. It won't be if we keep running it like we have for the last 4 years. But this is what they want. This is what they want, and you'll hear the plan. I want German car companies to become American car companies. I want them to build their plants here. I want to beat China in electronics production, and we'll be able to do that easily. We have the greatest genius, the greatest minds here, and then we end up building them in different places. A lot of that's really stupid tax policy. I want GE, IBM, and every other manufacturer that left us to be filled with regret and come sprinting back to our shores, and they will. So as your president, here is the deal that I will be offering to every major company and manufacturer on earth. I will give you the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burden, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet, but only if you make your product here in America. It all goes away if you don't make your product here, and hire American workers for the job. If you don't make your product here, then you will have to pay a tariff, a very substantial tariff, when you send your product into the United States. And by the way, you know, for years they knocked the word tariff, properly used, is a beautiful word. One of the most beautiful words I've ever heard. It's music to my ears. A lot of bad people didn't like that word, but now they're finding out I was right. And we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars into our treasury and use that money to benefit the American citizens, and it will not cause inflation, by the way. And you know, I took in from China hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs, and I had no inflation. We didn't have any inflation, 1.2%. We had essentially no inflation. Now, you've had, over the last 4 years, you've had the highest inflation, I think, in the history of our country. Somebody said, no, sir, it's only 58 years. Well, that's pretty bad, too. I think it's really in the history of our country. This is the policy that built America, and this is the policy that is going to save America. It's going to save us, because we have gone so far down in so many different ways, not to mention the border, not to mention 21 million people pouring in from places unknown, totally unvetted. But like I've always called it, because it's a very beautiful and simple term, it's called America First. We're putting America first. This new American industrialism will create millions and millions of jobs, massively raise wages for American workers, and make the United States into a manufacturing powerhouse like it used to be many years ago. We will be able to build ships again. We will be able to build airplanes at a much higher level again. We will become the world leader in robotics and every other field. The U.S. auto industry, which has been decimated over many, many decades, will once again be the envy of the planet. We're not going to accept all of these cars. They come in from every country, and it knocks out. You know, I was up in Michigan. We're doing very well in Michigan. By the way, we're doing very well in Georgia. We're leading by quite a bit. But pretend you're 1 point down, please, and go and vote, okay? Don't. Just go vote. You got to vote. We got to win this. If we don't win this election, our country is gone. I really believe it. To the auto workers in Michigan, Georgia, and all other parts of our country, I am pinpointing you for greatness. Your industry has been decimated by many decades of incompetent leadership, both political and at your company level. You had presidents of your company that sold out our country. They didn't know what they were doing. They were horrible. And you had politicians that were grossly incompetent to let that happen. Your auto industry has been decimated. And again, with the electric car, it's all going to be made in China. The head of the United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed of himself for what he's done. But we're going to turn it around, and we're going to turn it around fast. China is right now building major auto plants in Mexico. Did you know that? They were going to start with me. I said, no, if you do them, I'm putting a 200% tariff on every car that comes. And they decided we'll pass. Then they said, wow, now we can build Trump. We won't have to worry about him anymore. Oh, here I am. Here I am. Here I am. We're leading in the polls. We're leading by a lot. We're leading by a lot. They said, oh, we don't have to worry about him. No, they have to worry about me. That's why they don't like me. You know, they used to like Obama. They used to like... They like Biden. You know why? Because they got away with murder. That's why they like Biden. They love Biden. Why would you like Biden except that you took advantage of him? They took advantage of him. And they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States and destroy Michigan and South Carolina and North Carolina and Georgia and all of the places that make autos. Not going to happen. We will put a 100% tariff on every single car coming across the Mexican border. And tell them the only way they'll get rid of that tariff is if they want to build a plant right here in the United States with you people operating that plant. We want American citizens, and we want their plants built here, not 2 feet over the border and selling them into our country. We're not doing that. We don't do that anymore.
President Trump speaking from Savannah, Georgia. Right now, this is live, and we are excited to bring some of that to you here at the top of the show. But he's talking about things he wants to do. This is policy after policy after policy. Brad, the difference between what he's saying he's going to do as the president and Kamala Harris continuing to talk about the opportunity economy that I guess we're supposed to be living in right now?
Yeah, I would say we are living in the opportunity economy. Kamala Harris has done nothing to separate herself from Joe Biden. If you're curious of what Kamala Harris stands for, you're living in it, and you've been living in it for the past 4 years. If you like that, she's your person. But whenever I listen to Trump here in Savannah, Georgia, what he does is he lays out, he said, hey, remember when I was president and we did these things? We're going to continue to do these things. Plus, here's some more things that we're going to do. And he gives specifics. He doesn't talk about, I grew up in a middle-class family. He actually lays out some solid policy. So much so that whenever he does lay out some solid policy, i.e. no tax on tips, guess who says, you know what, I like that idea. I'm going to do that too. Or, hey, maybe we're going to give a child tax credit up to $5,000, then somebody else is like, oh, no, that's our thing. We're going to do it for $6,000.
Right. I think she voted against it originally.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Charlie Hurt talking about the opportunity economy.
But the problem with her is that this whole thing about opportunity economy has not really sort of worked out very well for people. She has been vice president for the past 3 years. And when Donald Trump talks about these things, he talks about things that people understand. He talks about oil, drilling for oil. He talks about taxes, which people pay. He talks about regulations, which people realize makes things more expensive and has done a lot to bring us all this inflation. And he just has a vivid way of talking about it and plans that people know actually have worked in the past. And people look at where they are now and where they've been for the past 3 years, and they're like, I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it. Can't afford it either. That's the problem here with the Biden-Harris opportunity economy. And, where is it taking us? What kind of people are out there reacting to the economy that we're living in right now? How are they feeling about it? The New York Times did a poll and flushed out some of those details for us.
I think this is really interesting. All right, choice for president, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. All right, Hispanic voters. 4 years ago, Joe Biden won that vote 66% in the Sun Belt. Look at where we are now. Kamala Harris at just 52%. So Kamala Harris struggling among Hispanic voters. Donald Trump doing considerably better than he did 4 years ago. How about black voters? Kamala Harris, again, leading here by a significant margin, right? She's getting 83% of that vote, but that is significantly short of Joe Biden's 92%. So the bottom line is, in the Sun Belt, which is much more diverse than the northern battleground states up in the Great Lakes, Kamala Harris is struggling among voters of color. Jay.
Well, that's a New York Times poll being reported on CNN about Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. Those are all very, very important states to Donald Trump. And if you were listening to what he just said there, while he's speaking in Savannah, Georgia, he talks about being up big in Georgia. Well, we're going to take a quick break because when we come back, we're going to cross away from the New York Times polls into some Trafalgar Group polls because we've got our friend Robert C. Cahaly back on the show with us to talk about the latest numbers in Georgia, what he's noticing, trends he is looking at, and any type of maybe forks in the road we might see coming up that might cause these polls to be even more definitive as we are 42 days away from the election. Robert C. Cahaly on the Annie Fry Show when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Retirement Advisory Group is inviting you to join us, myself, I'll be there, on Tuesday, October 1st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. If you have this evening free right now, the vice presidential debate is that evening. We're going to be done before that. That's the amazing thing about these events is that when you get together at the Frontenac Hilton with Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, they give it to you straight. They give you the information you want to know, and then you're done, and you're out of there. The event starts at 6:30 p.m., but I'll be there at 6 p.m., along with my friends Mark Cox and Mark Reardon, and we work really hard to try to meet everybody in the room up until 6:30 when the evening begins. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. There are snacks, all good things. No reason not to go. So make sure you reserve your seat before the room fills up. 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. Call them, tell them Annie sent you, and schedule that seat for yourself and a friend today online at retirementkey.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted?
Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode, and if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you need someone you can trust for your eye care, go see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Kim St. Ange here. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry are experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res. Buy 2 rooms clean, get 2 rooms free. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com. Take advantage of huge savings. Book 2 rooms cleaned, get 2 rooms free. ZeroResSTL.com or 474-2020.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall weather is on its way. Time to schedule your heating system check to make sure you heat your home safely. Schedule your heating system check today at aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here. Not because of a label, but because conservative ideas actually work. St. Louis is home for conservative talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
When they were under Donald Trump. Prices were flat, wages went up. We were out of World War III, nowhere close to it, and we had a secure border. Now we have the most open border we've had in our history of our country. We're closer to major conflict than we have any time in our lifetime. And the fact of the matter is that the economy is stagnant. You got prices that have gone up and wages that have remained flat. Those are the facts.
So Vivek Ramaswamy there, he's got like a Fox Nation special now or something. His book out, Truth.
Yeah.
He's got a book out.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Let's go get him. I think he's such a good. He's what I would refer to as the happy warrior. When you see Vivek Ramaswamy, very rarely is he angry or upset. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I like to watch him. The other day he was on campus with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get hostile people, it's going to be on campus. And he's almost got this way of just taking their energy and calming them down. He's like, no, your points are valid. Let's hear what you have to say. And then you can hear what I have to say. And then we can maybe find some common ground. And he just has a way about him that he brings everything down and then calms it down and has a really productive conversation with everybody that he talks to.
I admire that. It's something that we try to do here. We'll have people call into the show and they'll be, certainly not Trump supporters. And I think it's interesting to have conversations with people who presume to tell you that because you're a Trump supporter, you therefore X, Y, and Z. Like they already know these things about you. They've already put you in a box that you'll never be able to get out of. And all of that predicates any conversation that you'll have with them. And when you prioritize talking with an individual who has made all of these assumptions about you, when you prioritize treating them with respect, treating them with kindness, and being willing to listen, it kind of blows the whole thing to smithereens, where they are now in a position where everything that you would have assumed about that individual is shattered now. You may still not agree with their policies or their positions, but wow, I made some major assumptions about this person, and those are very, very much so not true. We're going to speak with Ben Capel. He's the co-producer of Am I Racist? We're going to speak with him at 1:25. I'm very excited to have that conversation with him and talk to him about his experience of talking to these. Well, I mean, producing this movie, Am I Racist, it had to be very interesting to go through the process of watching Matt Walsh do what he did. And I'm very curious. You guys have to come on to the YouTube live chat and tell me. But how many of you have gone out and seen this movie? It is completely and totally worth your time. It is 100% entertainment. And as far as the documentary go, completely makes a point at the end, which is the point of Am I Racist? I think that from the outside looking in, without an educated point of view, without having gone to see the movie, you might think that Matt Walsh is going into these situations to try to prove that that racism doesn't exist and it's not a real thing, and that all the people on the left who are crying about racism are all liars. That's not at all what the actual point of the conversation ends up being. The point of Am I Racist is that there are people who are making bank off the idea of you feeling a certain type of way. Now, I say you. I don't know what color your skin is, but based on the color of your skin, you are to feel a certain way about your lot in life. You are to act a certain way when you see other people who have skin colors that are different than yours. And the whole idea of Am I Racist is, yeah, this is a thing, but you can't ever even get out of your lot in life. Where you are is where you will be. It's where you've always been. And that's just the way it is. Oh, and by the way, there are people who are willing to take a huge chunk of change from those who will continue to promote that idea. The idea of what they often refer to as anti-racism. Ryan, you saw Am I Racist this weekend, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers to people who haven't seen it so that they can go have the experience for themselves. But we were Brad and I had seen it.
Oh, yeah.
The weekend before separately, and individually liked it a lot and spoke highly of it.
Yeah, I really saw it based on you guys' recommendation, because I knew the movie was out there just based on ads and following Matt Walsh and stuff, but it was my birthday, and my wife asked me... No, it wasn't your
birthday. It was your birthday a week earlier.
Well, I was out of town the week before my birthday,
yeah.
So this was my suggestion to my wife weekend.
If you're
what
new
we should
to the
do.
show, Ryan's one of those birth month guys.
I birth week, I would say. And I'm not going to not celebrate it now 2 weeks later.
The way that you acknowledged Brad's birthday in August was to remind us when your birthday was in mid-September.
That was just a reminder. That wasn't celebrate me now. That was just keeping it on your radar.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah. So when my wife asked on my birthday, what do you want for your birthday? I said, well, first of all, it's a little late, but I would like to go out this weekend to Andrea's, which we did. We had 2 nice fillets. And then we went and saw Am I Racist, which was quite a date. And
that's my husband and I did for our anniversary.
You really?
Yeah.
The weekend before. So
we went to Ed Lee's barbecue.
In between eating at Andrea's and going to see the movie, we had about 30 minutes. And she told me while we were waiting, because we went to Home Depot, we were walking around looking for a microwave.
Total thing to do on your 43rd birthday.
Yeah, looking for a new appliance. We had 30
hey,
minutes to kill.
you want to walk around Home Depot and dream about appliances?
It's what we did.
Yeah.
And the lady said, what are you guys out doing tonight? Because we were dressed a little nicer than we usually are. And said, well, it's my birthday, so we just went out to eat. and now we're going to go see a movie. And she goes, what movie are you going to go see?
Yeah, it's weird. Because then when you say the name of the movie, you're like...
Yeah, so at that exact moment, my wife goes, oh, well, it's a comedy. So we thought maybe that would make it go away. No, she goes, oh, well, what movie is it? At that moment, the wheel of the cart we were pushing got stuck on something. And I went, doggone it, the wheel of this cart's stuck. And so I kind of created a diversion and eventually said, well, we're going to see Matt Walsh's new movie. That's enough.
That's a good way to say it.
Right? And so we did. I have no idea what this lady... Yeah, she was just making conversation. Nothing. We just don't know what it's going to be.
Was she a white lady?
She was.
Okay.
So that's... I just don't know. So I'm like, I don't know.
It's a weird thing to have, but after you see the movie,
yeah.
you like go back and think of that situation where you're trying to have a completely innocuous, completely normal conversation, but... There's all this pretense.
Oh yeah,
that has to exist, and you don't really. And the truth is that all you're trying to do is the right thing.
Yes.
You might end up doing the wrong thing, but I'm really trying hard to do the right thing.
And the thing is, the movie is intentionally provocative. It is pushing buttons in our society that people say, no, you can't push those. And so even saying the name of the movie, that's my point, is provocative. That's the point of the movie. So going to see it, I was a little surprised by how funny it was.
Did you laugh out loud?
Numerous times.
Did your wife laugh out loud? Was she super uncomfortable?
I don't know if you ever watched the first season of The Office. Maybe it was the first couple seasons. But they would do a lot of uncomfortable, kind of halfway racial humor within The Office. Like with Mindy Kaling being Indian and some of the other people being white and stuff like that. And they had a gay character. They do stuff that was just uncomfortable. It was that kind of laughter the whole time where you're like, I am uncomfortable and this is really funny.
Yeah.
And so she was laughing. Man, I couldn't tell if the theater was just erupting the whole time because the guy next to me was probably 50, 60 years old and he just was losing it.
Yeah, it's so funny. And as soon as other people start laughing, because it's one of those things you're like, this is really funny. If I laugh at this or other people, is everybody else going to laugh at it? By the end, to me, it's like you don't know who the people are in the theater with you, but you'll grow together.
Yes.
And at the end of the movie, you'll be laughing together at the absurdity of what you're seeing.
And there's an interesting reason that you're laughing because sometimes, I'm not saying that the whole movie, because you go to see a movie that's very propaganda based, I'm not saying this one is, but if you go to one that is like watching The Daily Show or watching John Oliver. If you watch those shows and you're a leftist, you laugh because you're like, these idiots. That's not what Am I Racist is. There are times where you might laugh because you're just laughing because, they made a good point.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're laughing because they keep pressing those social buttons that you're like, this is uncomfortable. So it's not that like rhetoric humor that makes you feel holier than thou. It's just funny.
When you walked into the theater and you sat down next to that guy, were you like, I'm Ryan Wiggins? You did.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
He did.
He sat down next to me.
He did.
And he goes, are you Ryan Wiggins?
He did not.
You're right. He did not.
He did not.
None of that happened.
Were you like, honey, when I sit down, be like, Ryan Wiggins, would you pass the Coke?
Yeah. Look, you're not on the radio right now. Just be normal. I told her to say that.
Just be normal?
Yeah, just be normal. You're not doing your show, your number one rated show or whatever. And she didn't say that. I was really disappointed. I'm like, this is my birthday. You can't even say one line out loud in a theater?
She says that, you act all big, and then she leans over and goes, it's his birthday. I'm making it up. It's a role play thing.
You know what's funny is we went to O'Fallon, and the show, it was number 4 last week. So that meant that there are bigger movies that have outrun it, like Deadpool and Wolverine, and some of these, like Speak No Evil, and some of these are big movies with big stars in them. So Am I Racist was in the furthest down theater, the smallest theater. Man, it was jam-packed, though. So I'm thinking, I can't see this. Usually that's right before it steps out of the theater, is that theater. I can't see that one not having another week.
But you don't go to...
It should stay.
And it's a great thing for movie theaters because you're filling that little theater. When movies get into that little theater, they're
on their way out.
They're not really filling up the movie theater. If you can stick a movie like that in a theater like that and fill it up and then let your blockbusters be... Because I don't need to see I don't need to see Am I Racist in a leather-bound chair that vibrates when the racism really gets significant.
Oh, I do, and it was awesome. That was one of the best parts. Feet up.
Well, we've got Ben Capel on at 125.
I can't wait. That's going to be so fun.
Do you want to be in here for that?
Heck yeah.
Okay. Well, you can come in and join us because he's the co-producer of Am I Racist, and he is also one of Matt Walsh's 17 Black Friends.
He is in
or
the movie.
13, actually.
He's one of the stars of one of the biggest movies in America right now.
He's the only other actor in the movie.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody else is not in on it.
Uncle Frank.
Okay. Maybe we can get Uncle Frank tomorrow.
We'll just put that to the side. Yes. Yes. Let's take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins, you've got Wiggins America Next. What is the important topic of the day?
How to properly execute the perfect buffet meal.
Yeah, don't.
It's an election season, so.
So, what?
You know, we're just trying to bring you the important stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, buffet etiquette with Wiggins America when we come back. I don't know if it's the do's or the don'ts, but we'll find out from Ryan next. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. You find them online at igotfloored.com. igotfloored.com. Go visit them, and you can learn everything about them that I'm going to say right here. But let me speak about this partner of the Annie Fry Show of 97.1 FM Talk and explain to you that a business that has been working here in St. Louis, serving people and families and homes and businesses just like yours here in St. Louis on both sides of the river, Missouri and Illinois, for that long, you know that they're doing something right. They care about you as a customer. And when you purchase flooring from Michael's Flooring Outlet, they want to make sure that you become somebody who's going to recommend them to the next person who talks to you. Oh my gosh, your flooring is so beautiful. Where did you get it? The answer needs to be Michael's Flooring Outlet, and they're going to work hard to earn that from you. They have the top brands. They have the Mohawk Smart Strand line of carpeting. They have the Techwood line of hardwood flooring. They have everything that you've been researching, but they also have the expertise to go with matching your budget to quality flooring. Find all the details that you need to know online at igotfloored.com.
Max Shows presents the St. Charles Gun Show. Shop hundreds of tables with thousands of guns, knives, military surplus, tactical gear, and more. You gotta go to the Gun Show this Saturday and Sunday at the St. Charles Convention Center. Visit maxshows.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
The phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
We have a vice presidential debate that we're going to air live here on 97.1 1 week from today. That is October 1st. The YouTube live chat poll question of the day has to do with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Should they debate again? Let us know what you think, yes or no, and make your case, because I am undecided. Just make me believe you.
I am undecided.
Make me and Annie believe you. She's not doing a character there. She's saying she's undecided.
No, Annie is decided. Very decided.
YouTube live chat poll. Type in Annie Fry, and the poll will come up along with the live stream. It is 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
12 amazing children, one special evening. The Night of Rock Stars is this Friday, and it gives special needs kids a celebrity treatment they'll never forget. Join us for this month's Conservatives Care, The Night of Rock Stars, by visiting 971talk.com/events.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Well, this is why I exist, to tell you about how to execute the perfect buffet meal.
Of course.
Self-awareness is a mastered art.
Can I just tell you before I start this?
You can do whatever you want. It's your segment.
I had a random day to myself about 3 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly why. I think my wife had to take kids to birthday parties or something, and for some reason I had not any reason to participate in that. So I just started driving. I was like, I need to run an errand. And then I just kept driving. I'm like, I'm alone.
Did you listen to Celine Dion with the windows down?
Yeah.
I drove all night.
Yeah.
You're like, forget about Roy Orbison. Give me Celine.
I just turned on whatever was on, and it was Celine. So
you sound pretty confident about your ability to... Never mind.
And I found myself just driving, you know.
I'm just picturing you driving up, like, to Grafton with the river on the side, the bluffs on the other.
Yeah, wearing my sunglasses. Convertible.
To get to you. And it's ice cream in Grafton.
Listen to
Not that, I mean, boy, do you get in the car and drive to get your ice cream in Grafton?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Just driving the Great River Road, listening to Boys of Summer.
Celine Dion, don't lie.
No, I was listening to
Don Henley.
Don Henley. Thank you. You knew. That's rare.
Only the greats.
Wayfarers on.
Were you going to tell the rest of your story?
Ended up at a buffet. I just was driving.
So you got time to yourself, and you got in a car and randomly drove until you found a buffet.
It was like an out-of-body experience. I didn't even mean to. I just pulled into a parking lot. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here now? That's a buffet.
Were you even hungry?
Oh yeah, I'm always hungry.
It's true.
That's never a question. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm unlocking my car. I'm getting out. I'm walking in. What is happening? I'm walking into a buffet by myself. And I ate a full buffet meal at a Chinese buffet by myself. It was glorious. It was fantastic.
I don't think you're supposed to talk about these things.
Yes, you are. This is the whole segment
and the people
about it.
who were there that were also alone, you're not supposed to talk about them either.
They weren't alone. There was nobody in there alone except for me. Everybody's with their family, with loved ones. I was with the one I loved the most, myself. And I thought...
Is a Chinese buffet the best buffet?
Yes.
Never been.
You've never been to a Chinese buffet?
I don't know that I've ever had Chinese food.
It's not the best buffet.
Oh, yes, it is.
No.
Tell me what's better. Tell me what's better.
Well, here, let me tell you why it's not the best. Is because the owner sits there and stares at you after you go up to get your 7th or 8th plate and like.
Well, I judge you too.
Yeah, but it's a buffet. That's the point.
I like the way you're thinking. What's a better buffet though?
Oh, there's no such thing as a good buffet.
Breakfast, maybe?
No.
A breakfast buffet?
No.
Those are usually pretty good.
Are you always a quantity over quality eater? If you went to a really, really high-end meal and you got like 12 plates, but they were all the like 2-bite servings, and you were still hungry at the end, would you be upset?
I would say as a younger man, I would have been quality over quantity. As I've gotten older and refined my palate, I will only choose food at a buffet, for instance, that is very, very good. Like I'll go to the hibachi buffet.
You said originally when you were younger you were quality over quantity.
Sorry, reverse that.
Okay.
I'm quality over quantity now. So I don't eat. That's why I was surprised to be eating a buffet. I just don't really do it as much. But I still do enjoy them.
But the dirty little secret of Ryan Wiggins when he has alone time is that he goes to a buffet alone.
Subconsciously.
No.
Yeah, how do you subconsciously go to a buffet?
Like I said, I was just driving, listening to Boys of Summer. Come a wayfarers on, baby. And then here I am. All right, the rules for eating at a buffet. You can see if
Celine Dion.
You agree with these.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, and this is just in the order that the article from Taste and Flavor magazine.
Buffet etiquette?
Buffet etiquette.
When was the last time you were at a buffet, Brad?
Oh, man. I bet you it's been 4 or 5 years.
Annie?
Don't remember.
Even at Disney or anything, you don't eat at buffets?
No.
Okay.
I don't. That's. Ugh.
Oh gosh.
The way to go
underrated.
is family style meal. That's the personal buffet where you're eating families like you're eating a mini buffet with your family.
It's true, but there aren't as many options. Number one, respect the buffet's opening. Wait until the buffet is officially open.
Excuse me?
Before going to the door.
What?
I kid you not. That is number one on the list.
It's like yard sales.
What is the alternative?
The alternative is that you are waiting outside the door for them to open it so that you
rope
can
drop.
run in.
Rope drop the
Buffet.
buffet.
Yes. Apparently, this is such a problem that Taste and Flavors magazine made it their number one in buffet etiquette. Respect the buffet's opening. Number two, line/queue protocol. Take note of any lines present. If there are multiple sections to your buffet, choose where to start wisely. Seems fairly obvious to me.
What? How are people doing this wrong?
I will say this. Sometimes people walk up to the side that most people, like people will line up on one side and there's no established rule to which side you have to go to.
Maybe there is. Maybe this article is about you.
But what they're saying is that if you see a line starting and you just kind of jump in the middle, that's not really cool. You got to get in the line that's forming and kind of go with the flow because it can get a little crazy up there. Number three, strategic serving. Pace yourself by starting with appetizers and salads before moving on to the main course.
That's called a meal. That's called dinner.
Was this written by buffet companies?
I think it was by Ryan to try to normalize buffets.
It's like buffet etiquette. Don't come to our doors too early and eat all our food.
Mm-hmm.
Start with appetizers so you fill up so you don't get yourself on the expensive stuff and eat all of our food.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to maximize their profits by giving you advice on how to be on buffet etiquette.
Andy says, very meta moment for me, listening to this while in a pizza buffet in Highland.
No way.
Mentally checking for violations now.
Andy.
Tell the people at the Highland Pizza Buffet, hello from Ryan Wiggins.
Number four, listen loudly to the radio while at the buffet.
But allowed the Annie Fresh Show.
Well, that's not explicitly stated here, but implied. That if it's conservative talk radio, you'll get away with it. More people will become your friends.
Andy.
How are you getting away with listening to this?
Tell Highland that the Annie Fry Show said hi.
Yeah, crank it up right now because I'm about to give a big shout out to Highland Pizza Hut.
We don't know for sure it's Pizza Hut. Probably is.
I thought he said pizza buffet.
You know what? I've eaten at the Highland Pizza Hut buffet.
Thank you.
Maybe, did I? Pizza buffets are the only buffets that I ever really willfully partake in. I forgot that that's a thing.
CC's?
Pantera's.
You ever had one of those? Oh, in Evansville.
Pantera's Pizza Buffet.
That's a good one.
I'll do that because you can see the pizzas when they come out, and you can. But if it's like if there are 3 or 4 pieces of pizza left on that, I'm waiting for a full one.
Are you?
Do you see what the kids do?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I avert my eyes.
They're like, this one, no. This one, no. This one, okay.
Dessert pizza?
Sure. Cherry.
Yeah, I like them too.
Mm-hmm.
There is the one plate rule. Avoid the temptation to pile up plates in one trip. They're not saying you can't get multiple plates back and forth, but in one trip, just get one plate.
What if you want to get, for instance, in my pizza buffet at Pantera's, we'll get the salad and the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put them on the same plate, but I do put my salad on a plate. That is, you put the dressing on the bottom of the plate, and then you put the salad on top and you eat that way.
But you're carrying 2 plates?
Yeah, salad plate and a pizza plate.
You have broken the rules.
Apparently.
No Taste and Flavor magazine.
Why would I put my pizza on? The plates aren't even that big, which is probably buffet trickery.
It is trickery. I don't like that. Number 6, utensil etiquette. Use the provided serving utensils rather than your hands to handle the food. This one seems a little obvious to me. Like if you're getting Kung Pao chicken, don't just stick your fist in and grab as much as you can.
Ladle the egg drop soup out with your hand and pour it into a bowl.
Put it in your shirt.
Highland Pizza Buffet might be Mazzio's, which is a place that I used to go with my grandparents a long time ago, my Hamel grandparents. We would go to Highland for the pizza at Mazzio's.
Right. You're right.
And I like the Mazzio's. So if that's it, shout out to Mazzio's.
I've been there too.
Scratch
Hello,
it from
Mazzio's.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, turn it back up real quick, Andy. Shout out to Highland Mazzio's. Okay, you can turn it back
It's
down.
a big day in Highland's
having a good time
news.
today. Returning utensils. After use, return your serving utensils to the respective dishes, ensuring that there's no cross-contamination. So don't spoon out something like a pasta out of one and then go spoon out some Kung Pao chicken out of the other. Don't do that.
All of these rules, the fact that somebody wanted to write an article about, how many more rules do you have? Do you need more time?
There's a ton.
Give us another minute, Brad, if you could, please. But like the fact that somebody was like, these rules need to be written for all of time.
Yeah.
Is why I don't go to buffets.
People are doing it.
Yeah.
No eating in line.
Gosh.
Refrain
Are you guilty?
from
Have you
munching
done it?
No.
Dang it.
You know what? I might have eaten, like once in a while, I might try a sushi in line just to see if I like it. But it's usually if nobody's around. Is that okay? You know, if there's nobody around you, you're not slowing up the
No.
line.
Supposed to eat where you
Crime
prepare
and sin
food.
is not okay in secret.
It's in public still. There's just nobody around that I'm getting in the way of. No eating in line. Refrain from munching on items while still
Hand
in
to
the
mouth?
buffet queue.
No. Not
Wait
while
until you're seated.
Yeah.
And the last one, no returning food. Once selected, commit to your choices. Don't return items to the buffet line.
Man.
Don't do it.
Mazzio's confirmed by Andy. Dig ding. He says,
Yes.
obey these rules. And if you need a Ryan Wiggins appearance at Mazzio's for the price of probably one comped buffet.
I'll make the trip tomorrow after our remote in St. Charles.
Go to St. Charles
Hop,
to
skip,
Highland
and a jump.
for the but no, listen, if you are in the market tomorrow to kill some time in the afternoon, noon to 3, we're broadcasting live in the St. Charles Ruler Foods, and we need to create a mountain of diapers that we are going to hand over to Princess Storm and her diaper drive for the St. Louis Area Food Bank. Buffet etiquette by Ryan Wiggins.
You're welcome.
Is needed, I suppose. Jim Carafano and Ben from Am I Racist? Next hour, don't go away.
Oh, this dude is out of sight.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks. which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The Diamond Shop online at thediamondshop.net. Have you swung by to see the beautiful things that they have in Clayton, ready for you to peruse, to look at, to think about, and maybe to purchase? Did you know that they have 6 months, same as cash financing, on your purchases at the Diamond Shop? And with checks notes, I think it's 92 days until Christmas. 92 days confirmed. Only 3 months until Christmas. If you are looking for something special for this holiday season, be sure to go to the Diamond Shop and give them the opportunity to earn your business. The beautiful, sparkling entire store. I'm telling you, when you walk in there, you too will sparkle due to the beauty that exists in the Diamond Shop. And you'll be able to find what you're looking for at an affordable price. A reminder to go online and sign up to become a VIP. You can go online to thediamondshop.net and sign up at the bottom of the page, thediamondshop.net.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
He wants to tap America's resources. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
We're going to use our resources to our benefit. And it'll be clean and environmentally perfect.
Former President Trump at a Georgia rally.
American soil, it's got everything. It's got the rare earth, it's got the oil, it's got the gas. We have everything. The only thing we don't have is smart people leading our country.
Also vowing to put the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge back in play after the Biden administration canceled remaining oil and gas leases there. Trump also proposing tax credits for U.S.-based manufacturers. Vice President Kamala Harris says Trump's economic agenda could kill jobs and cost the middle class money. Today, she announced support for ending the Senate's filibuster on the issue of abortion to restore rights lost when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. States of emergency in most Florida counties for Tropical Storm Helene, now in the Caribbean, expected to become a hurricane.
Helene will bring a lot of rain to Florida's Gulf Coast at a time of year the ground is saturated and flooding is the norm. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor says 4 or 5 inches of rain will cause problems in lower-lying areas.
There is no stormwater system that can expel that amount of water in less than 2 hours. So we need everybody to understand that.
That rain will also come on top of storm surge, which by Tampa could be 5 or 6 feet. The Florida Big Bend could see surge higher than that. Evacuation orders could be coming soon.
Fox's Evan Brown. The White House says President Biden has been briefed and FEMA has deployed teams to Florida and Alabama. Just getting reports, the U.S. plans to send Ukraine an undisclosed number of medium-range cluster bombs and an array of rockets, artillery, and armored vehicles in a military package totaling more than $300 million. America is listening to Fox News.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Cool time. Stay with us going through our Tuesday afternoon. Clouds with hopefully a little bit of sun squeezing out. 72 for the high. Tonight, all is dry, partly cloudy skies. 59. Wednesday, beautiful. Lots of sunshine and nice. 76. Thursday, increasing clouds in the morning. A slow development of showers and a couple of thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and 75. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Attention, Missouri residents in need of care at home. If you have Medicaid and need assistance with daily activities, you can receive free in-home care from a loved one, funded by Medicaid with no cost to you. Freedom Care, Missouri's #1 home care provider, gives you the power to choose who provides your care, and they get paid instantly. Imagine your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift. Freedom Care has over 5,000 five-star Google reviews and is #1 in Missouri for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's 100% free to you, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-3027. That's 314-557-3027. 314-557-3027.
Hi, Charles Pan here at one of the exciting Money Show events where I'm presenting the keynote, broadcasting my live TV show, and best of all, giving away free copies of my newest book, Unbreakable Investor. It's a $29.95 value, but if you act now, I'll give you one too.
For your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505. Text CASH to 505-505.
I'm handing you my investing playbook, 348 pages on how I personally invest to target the biggest returns while mitigating risk. It's how I've been with the market so I never break. Guidance so crucial for today's investors that I'm covering the cost of the book and giving you a copy for free.
To get your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text the word CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505 while supplies last. Text CASH to 505-505 right now.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. We are thrilled to announce that the Mid-America Carpenters Union is offering up to $10,000 cash to close to all McKelvey home buyers. Use these dollars for closing costs, upgrades, or buy down your interest rate. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to own a beautifully crafted home with McKelvey legendary quality. Act fast. This offer is first come, first serve. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra will be at Enterprise Center December 18th. Get the best seats by getting your tickets in September for this Christmas season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, December 18th, 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I have a message for the people of Lebanon. Israel's war is not with you. It's with Hezbollah.
There you have Benjamin Netanyahu talking about what Israel's goal and target is in regarding the actions that they've been taking. It's not easy to watch what's taking place in the Middle East and have clarity on all of the violence, the aggression. You have to understand that on October 7th, which we're very close to the year anniversary of that, what took place in Israel is really unspeakable. And when Netanyahu is saying that their actions are aggressive towards Hezbollah, there's a lot of media spin that's going to come in between what they're doing and how we're consuming it. And all of that media spin is to help for political purposes, both foreign and abroad and home. And so we have to pay attention to what's going on. We have to educate ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why we continue to talk to Jim Carafano each week here on the Annie Frey Show, because he is our expert, the senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here with us.
And he's in Geneva.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, and the Lake Geneva is big. It's like Great Lakes big. It is a big lake.
Jim, when you, yeah, well, I appreciate that. When you're watching what is taking place in the Middle East, the way that they have surgically responded to those members of Hezbollah with the pagers, with the radios, and continue like that. I mean, what is your reaction as somebody who studied military action for all of this time on how Israel has responded towards Hezbollah?
Yeah, and that's a great question. Actually, I'm not just skiing here. I was actually today with a world-class group of analysts, and we were actually talking about Israel. Look, if you actually looked at the Israeli actions towards Hezbollah, it was like, dude, get out of my face. All these attacks were structured to send a message to Hezbollah. It's like, dude, today is not your day. You don't want to do this. Back off. And the reason for that is not because, to be just brutally honest, because, it's not because Israel doesn't want to kill every single member of Hezbollah, because I think they'd be thrilled to do that. But they know that this is going to devastate Lebanon. It's going to destabilize the country. And many innocent people will suffer. And in the end, the result will be the same. Hezbollah will rebuild. They'll get all this foreign help. The Iranians will help them. And Iran will have to, will be funding it. And Israel will have to do this again. And so they wanted to give Hezbollah every single chance to not do this to the Lebanese people, just like they offered, they didn't want to destroy Gaza. They're like, Hamas, don't do this. But you have to remember, this is really important. In the Middle East, and it's not about multiculturalism or anything else, this is a different cultural mindset. And anybody who's been around the world knows this. People around the world think and feel differently because of their historical experiences, their upbringing, their religion, everything else. In this part of the world, honor is power. And if you put out a hand and a gesture to your enemy, the response of your enemy is to cut your hand off. Mm-hmm. If you put out a fist and your enemy fears you, then they will leave you alone. And so Israel does not have a choice. When people threaten to destroy them, they have to defend themselves. Because if they don't defend themselves, the message they're sending to their enemies is, come, let's have another Masada here and, a genocide against Israelis. So Israel never wanted to do this. But when they do it, they have to demonstrate that not only they're going to win and defend themselves, but they're going to punish their enemies, and their enemies are going to suffer for that because that's the only thing that will make their enemies leave them alone.
Yeah. I think about Donald Trump repeatedly saying how he destroyed ISIS and now how they've built themselves back up again in the matter of time that he hasn't been in office. I think about Israel pushing back against Hamas in Gaza, even though the world was telling them to do otherwise. Now they're pushing back against Hezbollah. All of these bad actors being funded by Iran. I mean, is there enough that Israel can push back? Is there enough that Israel can do to end this problem for good? Or is it a constant that they will have to answer to this desire that these enemies of theirs have to destroy them?
Well, it's like the tide. If you don't deal with Iran, which is the absolute source of the problem, just like the moon causes the tides, Iran will fund people to kill again. You have to remember, in the end of the day, if you are the leaders and you're not killed, but if you're Hamas and Hezbollah and you're the people in charge, you have millions of dollars. You have villas in lovely places. Your kids go to the finest schools in Europe. You're not living any of the misery of the people. And these people will always, get more money to do this again, and they will. So unless you deal with Iran, which is the root of the problem, this is going to happen again. Everybody in the Middle East under Donald Trump was poised to move forward with the Abraham Accords, normalize relations with Israel, live together in peace, put a united front up against Iran. And, Biden came in and literally threw all that out the window And he said, no, we're going to give the Iranians everything they want, and they will cooperate. And they did the opposite. And, people have to remember that literally days before this entire thing exploded in one of the most horrific series of wars that we've had in the Middle East in decades, the National Security Advisor, Joe Biden, said, look at what a great job we're doing. It's never been more peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I mean, literally, that was so boastful and so incredibly wrong. I mean, do you think that Americans really understand how horrific October 7th was for Israel?
If you run the numbers, when you look at the size of the population, what happened to Israel was bigger than 9/11 for America. I mean, this is, and it was so personally horrific. Look, I mean, okay, Bin Laden knocks down a building, people die in the fire, the building collapses and everything else. And there's a bit of impersonality to it. Like, all we did was take down a building. I mean, you see people falling out of a building or being crushed or whatever, or dying of cancer years later. It's hard, but when you have people that personally seek out individuals to torture and murder them and rape them and take them hostage and cook babies in ovens, this is gut evil, my friend. And the sad thing is, it does come back to the United States, because we knew these people were evil. The United States, Biden, UNRWA, which is the UN organization, which is supposedly there to help the Palestinians, right? Which Trump cut off all the money to, and Biden not only gave he gave them more money, and UNRWA literally is an instrument of Hamas. The guy that runs the Gaza Teachers Union, which is funded by UNRWA, is actually a senior leader in Hamas. All the infrastructure was used, UNRWA money was used to build all the terrorist infrastructure to fight this war. I mean, look, we are complicit in genocide here, and it is all the same people in the Obama administration. It's all the same people in the Biden administration, and I'm telling you, if there is a President Harris, it will be all the same people in the Harris administration. The reality is, even if Donald Trump wins the presidency, many of the people that are the architects of trying to destroy Israel will still be in the federal government. And if somebody doesn't take them out and stop them, they will try to keep doing the stuff they're doing now.
What if Iran is the genesis of all of this? Is there a reason Israel isn't going directly towards Iran? Or are they, and I missed it?
Well, look, the problem with Israel and Iran going at each other is they really can't be decisive, right? There's countries in between. They can't invade each other on the ground. They can lob bombs at each other, which won't be very decisive. And so, I mean, the likely of them directly coming into combat with each other, and people forget this. Israel does have a nuclear deterrent. So I still think that's relatively unlikely, but we're never going to break out of the cycle of death if we keep doing what we're doing. And it literally you have to stop empowering Iran. It's just that simple. It's like, how would you like to stop World War II? Don't let Adolf Hitler, invade countries. It's just that simple.
Jim, is Iran a nuclear power?
Well, I think by definition they are. They have all the material they need to build a bomb. They have missiles. They have the designs. They have the capability. They are literally, I think, at this point, a nuclear power in all but name.
Does America have a role in keeping them from being a nuclear power or enabling them?
I think, it's a great question, because in the end, the decision to become a nuclear power is political. I think if they fear the United States and what the United States will do to them, that could be a very powerful deterrent from them taking that final step. Look, we have created a very, very steep requirement for the next president of the United States. But, like I said, what's interesting here is, people have test-driven both these cars. Right? Yeah. They've seen foreign policy under Trump. They've seen foreign policy under Biden. They've seen the difference on the ground that it's had. And, if Trump is president, they have handed him a worse world post-Biden than even was post-Obama. But I personally, and having actually just spent a bunch of days with people who've worked in and around him, I'm not political, but I don't think it's much of a choice.
Last question.
And the thing is
go ahead.
All this stuff's over there, but it is gonna impact our lives over here.
Yeah. Jim Carafano with us right now. The question that I have for you is, and you always say this, and you've always adhered to it, you're not a political person, but obviously policy matters, and America has a choice in which direction to take come November, and both of those directions we have resumes for both of those. We've seen these people in action.
Right.
The people of Israel, the people of Gaza, the people of Lebanon, will those people, the civilians, not the terrorists, not the people involved who are exacting violence, will they be safer or in more danger if Donald Trump were to win re-election in November?
All those people would pray for Donald Trump. Not only that, we have a lot of debate about Ukraine and blah, blah, blah. The people of Ukraine, and actually I was just with a bunch of people from Ukraine. The people of Ukraine, they pray Donald Trump. I swear to God. They say, Putin fears Trump. Trump will step up and do something. And the people whose lives are actually on the line and are innocent and just don't want to be shot at, they looked at Donald Trump as the kind of leader that could maybe give them a future. I really honestly say that without a partisan bone in any inch of my body.
Well, I think it's important because we know that you're there, you're speaking with these people, and you have that experience. We're grateful that you share it with us, Jim. Thank you for being with us again.
All right, thanks. Now I'm going back to Switzerland.
Yeah, okay. You enjoy Switzerland for us. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Jim Carafano, back to Switzerland, Senior Counselor to the President and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Isn't that an interesting thought? That the people, obviously, of Israel, but also, Brad, the people living in Gaza and the people living in Lebanon, the one who are living among the leadership of Hamas and Hezbollah, the people, those terrorists that don't just terrorize other countries who they consider enemies, but also terrorize the people. They use those people as their shields. They go poke the bear and then they hide behind innocent people while the bear comes running to defend itself. Isn't it an interesting thought that Donald Trump would have all of those people living safer lives?
It's an interesting thought, but it's really, if you stop and think about it, based on what you just laid out there, you talk about the people in Ukraine and them supporting Donald Trump. It's a logical thought. War is hell. Like, I don't know. And I don't understand, like, the cheerleading for war. Like, you hear this, like, Russia versus Ukraine. We got
because your pocket's not getting lined by it.
That's just it. These people are living in wartime areas. There's bombs exploding in their backyards and in their front yards. They're seeing friends and family members dying. And what they want more than anything is for all that to stop. And you know what they do know is that it didn't happen when Donald Trump was president, and they know that it's happening under the current administration now. So that's why, to me, that makes a lot of sense if you stop and really think about it.
It's just so obvious. We need Donald Trump. The world needs Donald Trump. Even the people who won't vote for him need Donald Trump. When we come back, we're going to speak with Ben Capel. I am so excited to talk to the co-producer of a movie that I have seen, Brad and Ryan have seen, and you must see if you haven't yet. It's called Am I Racist? It's in theaters, and it is must-see production. Producer Ben is going to be on with us, and if you've seen the movie, he's one of Matt Walsh's black friends. That's how you would know him. You have to see the movie. If that sounds sketchy to you, you need to see the movie to understand why I'm referring to Ben that way. But he's going to join us on the show. We're going to talk a little bit Am I Racist? And get the inside scoop from what it was like to be behind the scenes most of the time, a few times in front of the camera, producing the hit documentary Am I Racist? With Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire. Ben Capel on the Annie Frey Show next.
Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Last night I dressed in tails, pretended I was on.
STS-Armory.com. STS Armory is on the move, and I am excited to watch what they are doing next. They're going to have a relocation coming up here shortly, but you can still visit them in Pontoon Beach at the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive. This family-owned and operated business is there to guide you in making sure you can flex your 2A muscles in the state of Illinois legally. They don't make it easy for you in the state, but STS Armory makes it easy for you to be an educated and responsible gun owner. I certainly have enjoyed knowing Katie and Jesse, working with Katie and Jesse. They have helped so many people in my family, specifically with FOID card issues, with CCL issues. I have family members who have gone to get their conceal and carry license through STS Armory. They are the best instructors in the area. And in Illinois, when you need to make sure that you go through these steps in order to legally carry your weapon, you can go to STS Armory and qualify for it and be very grateful that you did. Being educated, being responsible as a gun owner, it's very important. STS Armory is there to guide you through the whole process. If you need your CCL license, if you need the renewal done, if you want to just start at the very beginning and get through that FOID card process, which is ridiculous in Illinois, but necessary, go to my friends at STS Armory. You can call them at 618-931-GUNS, or you can find them online at sts-armory.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're thinking of selling your home, I'm sure there are 2 things you want: certainty and the most money, right? Hi, it's Mark Cox, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the only agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first and only call when looking for an agent. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. No, she provides written guarantees. Now, what does this mean for you? Certainty. Now, certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive. Just like animals, animals like animals.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. Would you mind signing it? You will? What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader structures of racism in society? What's up with white people? What are you doing to decenter your whiteness? Who's making it?
So you're listening to the trailer for Am I Racist, a film that I went out and saw opening weekend. Brad saw it with his wife on opening weekend. And just last weekend, Ryan Wiggins went and saw it with his wife. And I'm a 10 out of 10 on this film. And I've been telling you so. You need to go see Am I Racist in theaters. And we are so excited to have on our next guest, a co-producer of Am I Racist, and maybe only the other actor other than Matt Walsh in this film. Ben Capel joins us right now. He's a co-producer. Ben, thank you for coming on today. It's great to have you here.
Well, Annie, thanks so much for having me and supporting the film.
You know what? I think there's
there's a kind of a compulsion for conservatives. You know, a lot of people listening to the show certainly are conservatives, or this is how they peek behind the curtain from the other side. But there's a compulsion to be like, oh, the Daily Wire made a film. I should go support that with my, $10 ticket. I should go do that. There might have been a part of me that went to the movie theater originally because of that, but I can't stop telling people to go see this movie because it is so funny. It is so well done. It makes a great point. What have you had as far as success that goes after? Like, what do you hear from people the most after they've seen this film that you guys have put out and had real great success with in theaters?
Yeah, well, the reaction from the public has been phenomenal. We're already the top-grossing documentary of the year, and we're the most successful political documentary in the past 2 decades. And that's from supporters like you and your listeners for coming out and supporting this work of art. So I really, really appreciate that. And then what the audience is really telling us is just how shocking not only kind of what we're able to pull off when it comes to the stunts we pull, but just that there are serious people in this country. And by serious, I don't mean that they're serious individuals, but powerful and wealthy and influential people who just believe the most insane things and things that really fall apart with just a little bit of pushback.
Yeah, it was jaw-dropping to watch. I'm saturated in news and politics every day. My husband's a public school teacher, and he went with me, and he was like slunk down in his chair, covering his hands, but watching between his fingers because of how unbelievable some of these people were when Matt Walsh was pushing back against them. What was it like for you? I don't know how well you knew Matt Walsh before you started working with him on Am I Racist, but what was it like for you to watch and be on the scene in the background while Matt Walsh was doing his Matt Walsh things in this film?
Well, Matt's just the best in the business, and for him to, not only keep his composure, but, him being able to lead these people to the logical conclusions of their ideologies in so many of these scenes was just so fun to watch. He had to keep straight face. There was plenty of times where, I had to walk out of the room because, I was biting my cheek too hard, and it's really close to, giving away the bit.
Yeah.
So it's been such a pleasure working with truly one of the greatest minds in media altogether, and partnering with him and the director Justin Folk, who's also just absolutely brilliant and really knows how to put together a story and has the vision for this entire thing.
We're speaking with Ben Capel. He's a co-producer of Am I Racist? You are now, I suppose, affectionately referred to as one of Matt Walsh's 13 or 17 black friends. To be that person, to be pulled into some of these scenes where you served as the minority representative, was it hard for you to keep a straight face in some of those different scenes where you had to come on and be the minority guy for these people to really commit, on the other side of the issues, these anti-racist warriors to commit to their kind of sham sell in front of you?
It's funny because I had the opposite reaction anytime I went on camera, where you realize, as funny it is watching, but when you're participating, it's not that funny. It's actually pretty dark.
No, yeah, I see that.
You guys are talking about. So the instinct isn't to laugh. It's really, holding yourself back and making sure you're not lashing out at these people. Just, hey, moron, like, you don't think that. You can't think that. You're an adult who, pays taxes, supposedly. Like, you can't do this. Yeah. So,
Ben, as you and Matt maybe discussed, or the team going into the film, did you have an overarching point that we're going to make a film that says this? Or did you conversely go about doing some of these interviews and then realizing the point that you were going to make along the way?
This film definitely has a point of view, and that's one that everyone on the crew shared going into it, which is it's really not difficult not to be a racist. It's really easy. Just don't be a racist. Don't think about it all that often. Treat people the way.
Just be a decent human being, like most people are always trying to do.
Exactly. Just full stop. And just to help kind of remind the country that is what we are called to believe, not only as Americans, but as Christians. So once we kind of got into the film, we kind of realized that, we don't have to boast and, have constant speeches to remind people of that. You really got to trust the intelligence of the audience. They just instinctively understand that what these people are saying is wrong.
Ben, how many times did Matt Walsh get recognized, and did you have to kind of abort one of the scenes?
Just the once, and you guys see it on camera.
Okay.
So people publicly have been crapping on his wig, which is really unfortunate because it's a very good wig. It really got us to where we needed to.
Well, I mean, right? He wrote that response to the white fragility lady, where he's like, "You saw my wig sucked and it was ill-fitting in your own words," and then he clarifies that it is a very nicely fitting wig, but you still went through it and you still cashed the check, which is really the overarching takeaway that I had is these people do anything because they're profiting off of it, and if people were to behave the way you suggest that normal people behave, Ben, there's no money in it for these people.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of the business model, right? White fragility, and racism is imbued into the system, and you can't get rid of it no matter what you do, which is really great for them because that means you have to keep calling them for these racist seminars. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy.
There's a tally, and we've talked a lot about this movie, but we don't want to give away all the good stuff because we want people to go see it, and so we don't want to spoil it for people.
If you guys do want to go see it, please go to amiracist.com and buy your tickets.
Yes. I mean, do that now because I know we have a lot of theaters around here in St. Louis that are showing it. I saw it in the Edwardsville AMC Theater and encourage everyone to go to amiracist.com and get those tickets. Ben, there's a lot of discussion, I think, appropriately so, about Matt Walsh's experiences with the people who are selling the idea of anti-racism as basically if you're a white person, you're in a permanent state of victimizer, but it's important that you know it, but you can't change it, and so on and so forth. But I think an under-talked about and under-discussed part of the film is when Matt Walsh goes into what you would assume to be the most racist biker bar in all of America. The one you guys found was really something to see. And these were the most lovable, kind people who looked at Matt Walsh's, DEI certificate credentials like, what are you even doing here? It was the most American thing that I've seen in a movie theater in quite some time.
Well, and it wasn't just that bar, though. I love shouting out 99 bottles as many times as I can. Those were some amazing people that we kind of just bumped into. But also, we went to really impoverished areas throughout Louisiana and New Orleans to talk to some, black people. And we weren't cherry picking these guys. It was just the people we talked to. And immediately they were like, I had no idea what the heck you're talking about. Just be a human being.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the big takeaway is like to be as dumb as these people are, you really have to go to college to learn that level of stupid.
That's so true. It's so sad, too, because it's really also expensive. Ben Capel, before we let you go, you're co-producer of Am I Racist? We talked about amiracist.com where people can go get their tickets. I've seen it myself. I want to bring more people back to see it as well, and I would absolutely love to go watch it a second time to pick up on things that I maybe didn't see the first time I was out. But how do people listening right now who appreciate what you have done, what the Daily Wire has done, what Matt Walsh has done, how do we continue to support you in a way that we can get more content to consume that is actually legitimately quality content? You're not just donating to a cause when you go to Am I Racist? You're really being entertained.
Well, I really appreciate that. And again, the big thing, go to amiracist.com, buy tickets, go see it in theaters. I promise it's worth it. Like sitting there and laughing with other people and just having an excuse to get out of the house and laugh for an hour and a half.
Yeah, amen.
Really is worth it, especially, with what our country is going through right now. That, and please go and support the Daily Wire. That's an organization that, we wouldn't have been able to make this movie without them. Jeremy Boring is the only man in America who has cojones to put money behind creatives like Matt and Justin Folk.
Yeah.
So go and subscribe to the Daily Wire. Please support these guys and everything that you guys can do.
Yeah, I completely agree. I watched Lady Ballers. I think I've seen Lady Ballers like 4 or 5 times through my Daily Wire subscription. I'm a girls basketball coach, was a girls basketball player, and that just spoke to me. I was like, okay, I'm committing to this, and was so glad that I could. And then when I saw this was in theaters, I thought, no, I definitely have to go. And then I realized this is not just a cause. This is a really, really great movie. And amiracist.com, that's where you can go get your tickets. Ben, we really appreciate you coming on the show with us today. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much, Annie.
We'll talk to you again. Thank you. Ben Capel, he's a co-producer of Am I Racist and amiracist.com. Can't stress enough
how entertained you will be. And I mean, I just think about the movies that I go see in the theater, which are usually ones that I go to see with my kids. My husband and I are not compelled to go to the theater, although now that our kids are old enough to watch the other kids and we can go see a movie within 5 minutes of our house, we're starting to think that maybe we might want to go see some movies again, because there are a lot of, I felt like there were a lot of interesting films that were coming out that I might like to see. And this one just generally, I mean, it impacted my perspective on this cause when I focus not just on, is racism real? Yes, there are so many people, so many things out there that are actively racist. And the interesting thing is it's not generally where you would expect it to come from. This movie makes that point, but the additional point that the idea that you are supposed to be actively divided from your neighbor who may not look exactly like you, that people rely on that to make money for themselves. What an amazing point that was made by this movie.
Yeah, it's exposing the racism industry as much as anything.
Yeah.
And that's what it's strange, because as you're laughing, because like we said, it's just so uncomfortable at times that you're like nervously laughing. And that's part of the fun, is that you're just going, oh my gosh, they're doing things you're not supposed to do.
The reason that you're laughing uncomfortably is because the stuff that you were doing that they're saying you're not supposed to, or that you feel like you shouldn't be doing, has been beat into your head by this complex, by this industry that is out there that they're actually exposing in the movie. I think it's really important to note, too, that like this movie doesn't make light of racism.
No.
It goes straight after the grifters that are trying to make millions of dollars off of racism.
What was your favorite? Like the documentary is a series of different experiences that Matt Walsh has. So it's kind of segmented in that way, and all of these, they all have parallels. What was your favorite scene? I know 100% for sure what mine is. What was
we haven't
yours?
talked about this, so hopefully it's not. It might be the same one.
It might be.
It's when they're recounting the tale of Jussie Smollett. And they
I forgot about that
they
one.
do the cut scenes of Matt Walsh being like envisioning himself in that scenario to try to identify with it, and how ridiculous it is. And they're using Jussie Smollett's own words.
Yeah, he's on like ABC or CBS or something.
Yeah, talking with Robin Smith or whatever her name is.
He's narrating what happened to him, and Matt Walsh is enacting it.
It's like
Chicago.
He's trying to put himself in the circumstance to identify, and he's it's very well done. How absurd what Jussie Smollett is saying with a straight face and crying and talking about how horrible this has been for him. Matt Walsh is walking through it. And we all know it's a hoax.
It's complicated when you're watching that, because the more laughable it gets, the more mad it kind of made me at the same time. Like,
exactly.
What about you?
My favorite scene was the scene when he sat down with that guy in front of his little auto shop. And he just had, like, he was having that conversation. This isn't one of the funny
scenes. Wasn't he an immigrant?
Yeah, he was an immigrant, and he's like, oh, I love this country. No, I don't experience racism. He's like, this is the greatest country in the world. He's like, well, what about all these things? He's like, I only need the Bible. And the Bible tells me.
He's like, I got white fragility. I've got 3 copies in my car. Want me to get one? He's like, I just use the Bible.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got the Bible in my car.
I think the most entertaining scene for me, the one that got me the most, was the dinner with the black woman and the brown woman. I think she was Indian, maybe. Mm-hmm. And it's like a dinner for women. So Matt Walsh is like, gee, I don't know how I'm going to get myself into this one. So he's the help. And it's the most acting that Matt Walsh does in the film. And I wanted to hide under my chair, but couldn't believe. Like, there's one point where they're like, raise your glass. I think he says that, like, raise your glass if you're racist.
Yeah, yes. Like, they're all acknowledging their own racism so much that he says, let's all raise our glasses to racism. Or to racists.
No, he asks them to raise their glass if they're racist.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And then they're all like, cheers.
Yeah.
and he's like so deadpan the whole time. I don't know how he did it, because I was like, oh man, I was hooting and hollering in the movie theater. I was laughing so hard. Everybody was laughing and hiding, but laughing and peeking and like, is this gonna end? And oh gosh.
Annie, part of the reason that scene made me laugh so much is not just the absurdity of what's happening in the scene, but he does things in it that you're like, that has nothing to do with making a good point. Like just falling and throwing plates down and stuff.
You got to see the movie.
You
got to see the movie. I mean, it's like Matt Walsh is doing this character, and there's slapstick in it, and they don't catch on to it. They're so committed to the check cashing that they don't catch on. AmIRacist.com. Seriously, you will not regret seeing this movie. Let us know if you do see it, what you think about it. We'd love to hear from you as well. The YouTube live chat poll for today, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Should Donald Trump agree to debate Kamala Harris again? Yes or no? We want to know what you think. You can go to the Annie Frey YouTube live broadcast. If you go to Annie Frey, F-R-E-Y, on YouTube, just pull up YouTube on your app, on your phone, on your desktop, your laptop. You can pull it up on your TV screen, your smart TV. Find that YouTube app. Type in Annie Frey, F-R-E-Y. You'll see that we're broadcasting live there right now. Hello. And when you pull it up in the live chat portion of today's live broadcast, the one up right now, you'll see the poll. And you can tell us if you think that Donald Trump should agree to debate Kamala Harris again. We'll discuss when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
CassinsCan.com. That's CassinsCan.com. They want you to remember that when others can't, Cassins can. CassinsCan.com. Cassins & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer. They are offering right now 0% financing available on most new Jeeps. If you are in the market for a Jeep, you need to get on the phone right now and ring up Cassins and get the conversation started about your new Jeep purchase so you can secure that amazing 0% financing rate that is available with most new Jeep purchases. The number to call is 618-800-2712. 618-800-2712. Reach out to them, tell them Annie sent you, and start the conversation. You can trust your purchase with Cassins, being able to have a relationship with the people who you bought your car from if anything happens to it in the future, if you need, regularly scheduled maintenance and you want it to be in the best hands so that you can make that vehicle last as long as possible. That's why you go to Cassins. It's certainly why the Frey family goes to Cassins, because we completely, wholeheartedly trust them with our vehicles, the ones that we carry our kiddos in, the ones that keep us safe. Cassins is there for us, and they will be there for you as well. They're located in Glen Carbon. Just get on 270 and go about a mile north on 159. 618-800-2712, online at CassinsCan.com.
Student loans can be a strain on your family. For a limited time, the Springfield, Missouri Police Department is offering qualifying new officers up to $12,500 to help ease the burden of student loans. If you're driven, honest, and team-oriented, we want to talk to you about joining our next paid police academy. Start serving your community as a leader of it with the Springfield Police Department. Visit gospd.com for more information. That's gospd.com. Brought to you by the Springfield, Missouri Police Department.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at ThrottleNet, and you've probably heard George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet on the show. He's a technology whiz, and George and his team can educate you and your business on the dangers lurking with technology. Here's a unique opportunity along those lines. Does your company have a lunch and learn or guest speakers? For a limited time, ThrottleNet is providing free lunch and learns to provide cybersecurity awareness training. One click can cause a ton of damage to your business. ThrottleNet is determined to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does, they're the cybersecurity experts who can help. ThrottleNet is known for high customer satisfaction, averaging 99% happiness with over 35,000 surveys. They have an industry-leading response time of less than 2 minutes. And no clients of ThrottleNet have ever paid ransom as a result of a cyber attack. Contact ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971 and we can schedule your free company lunch. Don't miss out. Find out more today about ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing: IRS problems. firms. And we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDRURYLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
If you're considering new windows, there's nowhere else to go but Window World. Mark Cox here. My friends at Window World are doing something now they've never done before. That is offering up to 36 months interest-free financing for your purchase. So you get the great windows put in now, you get the energy efficiency, the great look, and then you have 36 months to pay for it. How about that? Window World has been around for a long time, and their reputation speaks for itself. They are highly rated in the Better Business Bureau and all of the rating agencies. They're big supporters of our St. Louis Blues. And here's the thing. If you mention you heard this on the Mark Cox Morning Show in 97.1, you're going to be entered in a drawing for 4 Blues tickets during the upcoming season. And that's great. They're going to pick a winner every month, and good luck to you. If you need new windows, I'm telling you, Window World is the way to go. 314-993-1800. That's 993-1800 or windowworldstlouis.com.
Should Donald Trump agree to debate Kamala Harris again? We'd like to know, yes or no, what you think. YouTube live chat poll of the day. You type in Annie Fry, and you will see the Kamala Harris, the YouTube live chat poll there.
Get it together.
Up. Sorry.
Be a professional.
It is
Why
really
are you
my
laughing?
fault. Clearly, if you're watching the live stream, nothing else going on in the studio. I'm just trying to pay attention to what I'm doing. Nothing else happening. YouTube live chat poll. Hey, that's how you can really participate, is by tuning into the live stream. You can see all this stuff. So you hear it. You go, what are they doing? But
and
you can
vote.
see it. And you can vote in the live chat poll. 151 now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Wednesday, September 25th, join the Annie Fry Show in St. Charles as we support Princess Storm's annual diaper drive. You can buy diapers at Ruler Foods to donate right there on the spot, or bring your own. Come say hi. This Wednesday, September 25th.
Freedom was something I never found. Trying to find 6 feet underground. Under the weight of all of my sin. Fighting the fight that I couldn't win. And you rescued me. And now I can breathe. I was a dead.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. My friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw in studio with us because next Tuesday we have our next Protecting Your Retirement educational event at the Frontenac Hilton. And if you want to reserve your spot, you need to go to retirementkey.com and reserve it before they're filled up, if they aren't filled up already. Thomas, there's a lot at stake in this election coming up. A lot of people are paying attention to their financial situation.
They really are. And to be straight to the point,
this stock market is teetering on this election. And I'd like to read just a couple little bullet points. This is from billionaire hedge fund manager John Paulson. He has threatened to remove all of his money from the U.S. markets if Vice President Kamala Harris wins this election. Here's why. The Paulson and Company founder made the shocking revelation during an appearance on Fox Business News last Tuesday. If Harris is elected, I will pull my money from the market. I'll go into cash because I think the uncertainty regarding the plans they outlined would create a lot of uncertainty in the markets and likely crash the markets. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, responded to Paulson's promise by tweeting legendary investor Warren Buffett was already preparing for this outcome. Warren Buffett now has increased his cash reserves to $277 billion because of this market. That's what's teetering. He'll go on to say, Paulson cited the policy Harris campaign laid out that would focus on more centralized price controls and new government spending programs were behind the fears. Economists have estimated the plans to cost over $10 trillion.
Wow.
You think we have inflation now, folks? The future of the American stock market and economy relies on the winner of the November 5th election. If they do implement a 25% tax on unrealized gains, that will cause mass selling of almost everything, stocks, bonds, homes, and even art. I think it would cause a crash in the markets worse than that of 1929.
Oh.
Folks, this is from Paulson. Now, and this is shorter, this is from Mark Cuban, who is a registered Democrat.
Yeah.
He even wrote, Kamala Harris will kill the stock market if she is elected as U.S. president, said Mark Cuban. Cuban has said that it is a terrible proposal and it will force investors to sell all of their stocks and assets in order to pay their taxes, which will eventually lead to the biggest crash since 1929. The Dallas Mavericks owner has also warned this will prevent entrepreneurs to make their companies public by avoiding any complications arising from taxes. So, folks,
there's a lot at stake.
I urge you, don't wait till it's too late. As Tom just said, this market is teetering on this election. This is your life savings that you've worked your entire life for. If we have this kind of hit, a 40% or more hit inside the market, think of how different your retirement is going to look. We're not here to scare you and talk all doom and gloom, but unfortunately, this is the way it is, and this is what's happening. So this is our last event of the year. You do not want to miss this. Please call us at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
So when you guys are preparing for helping people who are in their super late 50s, 60s, maybe they've just retired, that all these people qualify for what you can do to help them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're going to show them the strategies we've been teaching for over 30 years, how to protect your life savings, and it won't affect you if the market crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy, we are proud to say in 38 years, we've never lost a penny of our clients' money.
Yeah. It's such an important thing to be able to take in. And just a reminder to folks that this event is free, so it doesn't cost you anything to attend. We do need you to register your spot. So you can call 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock. Mark Cox and Mark Reardon are going to be there with us as well. And from about 6 to 6:30, we're going to shake hands, get to know you a little bit. I'd love to meet each and every one of you at this event. 6:30, we have Bob and Tammy and Thomas who take over. And you guys, the VP debate is that night. And I've had people ask me about that. I think it starts at 8 o'clock.
We'll be done by 7:30.
Yeah.
We'll get you out of there and home in time for the debate.
That's
Absolutely.
Right. A very consequential debate. As you're saying, the economy
this economy is teetering on it. It really is.
Well,
and at this event, there's other articles and videos I'm going to play from some of the top economists in the world, what they're saying about this market is teetering. So you don't want to miss this, folks.
314-993-9494. My dear friends Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm just inviting you to this free event. Plus, I'd like to see you. Go fill that room. retirementkey.com. We'll be back with the poll when we come back.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, Charles Payne here at one of the exciting Money Show events where I'm presenting the keynote, broadcasting my live TV show, and best of all, giving away free copies of my newest book, Unbreakable Investor. It's a $29.95 value, but if you act now, I'll give you one too.
For your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505. Text CASH to 505-505.
I'm handing you my investing playbook, 348 pages on how I personally invest to target the biggest returns while mitigating risk. It's how I've been with the market so I never break. Guidance so crucial for today's investors that I'm covering the cost of the book and giving you a copy for free.
To get your free copy of Charles Payne's new book, Unbreakable Investor, text the word CASH to 505-505 and just cover shipping. Text CASH to 505-505 while supplies last. Text CASH to 505-505 right now.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Evacuation orders in Florida. Elisa Brady, Fox News. Limited orders so far as the state's Gulf Coast prepares for Tropical Storm Helene, which could grow to a major hurricane by the time it approaches tomorrow.
If you live in an area that flooded for Idalia, you should prepare for flooding again.
Pinellas County Emergency Management Director announcing a mandatory evacuation for hospitals and nursing homes. The Florida governor declaring states of emergency in most counties for storm prep. Hurricane watches also posted for parts of Cuba and Mexico. Lebanon's health ministry now says more than 560 people were killed in Israeli airstrikes yesterday, including 50 children. Israel says it's targeting Hezbollah and the rockets it fires into Israel. The U.S. is set to send more weapons to Ukraine.
The latest weapons package is worth about $375 million, aid that includes medium-range cluster bombs, armored vehicles, and an array of rockets. Addressing the United Nations General Assembly, President Biden warned world leaders not to look away from Ukraine.
The good news is Putin's war has failed and at his core aim. He set out to destroy Ukraine, but Ukraine is still free.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meets at the White House with the President and Vice President Kamala Harris on Thursday.
Fox's Jared Halpern, former President Trump vowing to settle the war in Ukraine.
We're stuck in that war unless I'm president. I'll get it done. I'll get it negotiated. I'll get out. We got to get out.
Criticizing the continued flow of U.S. aid to Ukraine, the U.S. does not have troops there. At a Georgia rally, Trump also proposing tax credits for U.S.-based manufacturers and a write-off for the cost of heavy machinery in the first year. Vice President Harris plans a speech on the economy tomorrow in Pennsylvania. America is listening to Fox News.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool Drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Cool time. Stay with us going through our Tuesday afternoon. Clouds with hopefully a little bit of sun squeezing out. 72 for the high. Tonight, all is dry, partly cloudy skies. 59. Wednesday, beautiful. Lots of sunshine and nice. 76. Thursday, increasing clouds in the morning. A slow development of showers and a couple of thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and 75. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Max Shows presents the St. Charles Gun Show. Celebrate the Second Amendment at the premier gun show in the region. Shop hundreds of tables with thousands of guns, knives, military surplus, tactical gear, and more. See one-of-a-kind antique weapons, new product demonstrations, and thousands of accessories. For the largest selection of rifles, handguns, and more, you gotta go to the Gun Show this Saturday and Sunday at the St. Charles Convention Center. Visit maxshows.com. That's maxshows.com.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the bagel loan, man, this is a smart call to make right now. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Stewie is there to make sure that your mortgage situation is laid out in the smartest possible way. Because rates right now, they've come down a little bit, a lot of bit, really, if you got them at the highs of within the last 2 years. When the Fed cut rates, mortgage rates follow. They're trickling down. And now is the time to secure a bagel loan mortgage refinance to make sure you're not paying any extra money in interest with those higher interest rates. When you call or text 314-324-4440, that's 314-324-4440, or you Google the bagel loan, you're going to get connected directly to Stewie of Stewart's American Mortgage. If you're looking for a home purchase, you can use the bagel loan as well. And remember, the bagel loan means zero in closing costs. That's the sell right there. Nothing to close that new mortgage. That's why you call Stewie. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
When Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com talks to people about health insurance, they tell him, number one, my premiums are too much. Number two, my deductible is so high, I never meet it. And number three, my doctor doesn't accept my plan anymore. Greg offers private health insurance plans that are not on the ACA market. You can pick your doctors. For most claims, you won't even pay a deductible. And they're 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing. There's no tax penalty at the end of the year. Greg even has plans that are guaranteed acceptance and available all year long, so you can enroll today. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Save money on your next oil change with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get a $10 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $35.95. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Freedom of thought. Freedom of speech. It's defended here on your home for conservative talk and conservative values. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. A great show so far today. Jim Carafano and Ben Capel, who is the co-producer of Am I Racist, on with us in the 1 o'clock hour. And really the highlight of the show was buffet etiquette in Wiggins America 1245. I just don't know how you could have missed that.
Well, I think people tune in for that content, and the politics is just sort of a bonus. So if you're a big buffet person, you might want to listen to that to make sure you're doing things.
To make?
Yeah.
What do you mean if you're a big buffet
You're
person?
making an awful lot of assumptions here, Ryan.
It's really rude.
And also, if you are not a big buffet person, maybe you should become one and listen to Wiggins America 1245 on the podcast.
Were any of the buffet etiquette suggestions that you made, have you offended any of those? Any of them? Any one of them?
Yeah, the one about eating in line, I think I've done that.
Ryan.
Oh, man.
Like I said, I think I've eaten a piece of sushi here or there while in line.
Why don't you just put the one piece on your plate, go back, try it, and then decide, yeah, I do like those. I'll get another one.
It's a lot of walking.
Let me just, first and foremost, complete full disclosure, say that I don't eat at buffets, and I also have never had sushi. So I'm not in a position to really comment on these things from an empathetic place.
Okay.
Buffet sushi?
You know what? There's a lot to say about that. But Brad, I'll let you speak first. We both like sushi.
Yes.
We have been on a sushi date before with our wives.
We brought our wives along. It wasn't just you and me, but yes.
It was a double date.
It was a double date. And we single date had frushi at
on accident.
Disney World, and did not realize that we looked like we were on a date until we were feeding it to each other.
You were wearing buttons that congratulated your 5-year anniversary.
So that was a dead giveaway that we might be together. We weren't.
You were together. You were together wearing anniversary buttons at the Frushi bar.
Well, we were together with
those
everybody else.
Those are all facts.
We walked from Mexico to Japan at Epcot with those buttons on.
That sounds like something Joe Biden would say.
Oh, my gosh.
We did.
Back in my day.
We walked from Mexico to Japan. Eating a little bit every step of the way.
You know, before the continents broke apart.
Hey,
Remember
back,
what's that?
man.
Not a joke.
Called?
Pangea.
Pangea.
Not a joke. So anyway, Brad and I are sushi connoisseurs. We eat lots of sushi.
I wouldn't go that
it.
far, but I do love sushi.
People love sushi in the way that we do. So this is now Kamala Harris type speak.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's a salad roll.
Go back to the journey from Mexico to Japan.
What did you think? What do you think of buffet sushi?
No buffet sushi.
You won't eat it?
No.
See, I won't eat gas station sushi.
Me neither.
Why? You have standards?
I do. Gas station sushi and some, not all, supermarket sushi. Now, some of them have a sushi chef there every day.
Yes.
That's good sushi.
Yes.
Okay, I have questions. My assumption, and this is, admittedly, I know nothing about sushi, but my assumption is that all sushi has raw fish in it.
That is incorrect.
That's incorrect, yeah.
What doesn't?
California roll doesn't.
What's that have in it?
Yeah, certain types of rolls.
Does it have fish in it?
I think they have imitation crab.
Imitation crab. There are veggie rolls.
Fish!
Yeah, but it's not raw.
It's not raw. It's cooked.
There's
lots of veggie rolls, avocado rolls.
Not all sushi has raw fish in it.
Right.
Correct.
Is there any sushi that has no seafood in it?
Yeah. Avocado roll is a great one. My kids love that one.
What's in that?
Just avocado and sushi, basically, and maybe some seasoning.
But when you say sushi, what's sushi?
It's that type of food. It's pretty much rolls of rice
You said
with
avocado
things in the middle
sushi
of it.
has avocado and sushi in it.
Sushi doesn't mean raw fish.
But I'm asking you to define what it means.
So an avocado roll is going to have something like, it's going to have rice either on the outside or on the inside. It's going to be wrapped with seaweed, and then it's going to have like cucumber.
Do you eat the seaweed?
Yes.
No, I don't.
That's what holds it together. It's
And
actually very good.
If you don't like the seaweed, you can always get a soy wrap, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, I'm going to make all the modifications and turn it into a cheeseburger.
It's good about it.
How about some beef between some bread with some cheese?
Annie,
Cheddar, sharp.
What you're looking for is
American
maybe
food.
like nigiri. These are just individual
Sushi.
rolls. Yeah. These aren't maki in the sense that you're thinking of sushi.
You're mocking me.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. I don't
I'm
know any of the words.
real Japanese words.
I believe you. You've been.
Maki. No. Maki roll is just a roll. And then
That's
nigiri
sushi.
is something placed over rice.
You know, okay, just for a hot second, you guys know how picky of an eater I am.
Yeah, you wouldn't like anything there.
Is there an option for me that doesn't involve me eating the grilled cheese off the kids' menu at a sushi restaurant?
Let's see here. Yes, I think we could probably find a sushi bowl that you'd like, which is a bed of rice. You'd be okay with that, right?
I don't really like rice.
Well, you're going to be not eating sushi then.
I'm not opposed to rice, like from I don't eat seafood. I don't want to eat seafood. No, rice I don't prefer, but I would eat it.
Okay, so if you start with a bed of rice, and then I'm trying to think of something that would not be fish that you'd put over rice.
That's the problem. Chicken.
Well, like if you went to like, I don't know, like the restaurant I went to they also have Chinese food, so you could order off the Chinese menu if you like Chinese food.
Had Chinese food.
And then, I mean, Chinese food it's not fish. You know, you can get chicken or beef or, beef and broccoli, stuff like that. So you could find something like that.
When I was growing up, my parents, if they got Chinese food, would get fried rice and I would eat that.
Yeah, it's good.
But I don't want it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, which means you probably, you know what though, if you haven't had it since you were a kid, it's worth trying something that you'd feel safe enough.
Well, that's what I'm asking because
trying to see if maybe you do like it.
The seafood thing is anywhere. Like the closest I will get to eating seafood is my late grandpa's fish fry, catfish, or bass that he caught in a lake in Alhambra.
Okay.
So that's not happening. I don't want it. I don't crave it. I smell it. I don't like it. And I'm 40, so I don't have to eat it. That's what I have determined at this point. But there are worlds of food out there that I have no experience in because I'm so uneducated and unexperienced. Maybe you go into a sushi restaurant and there's like sushi for wimpy beginners. And I don't know what that thing is. Or Chinese food. Like I've heard orange chicken sounds like it would probably be pretty good.
Orange chicken's great.
I also in my mind have the understanding that Chinese food is not healthy. Is that true?
I mean, I don't know anymore.
American Chinese food.
Yeah, they say it's loaded with MSG. It really depends on where you go anymore.
Orange chicken is fried bits of chicken in a sauce made with oranges.
That doesn't sound bad. But it sounds unhealthy, which is another reason why I haven't dove head. What I don't want to do is love yet another very unhealthy food. So I just haven't.
So now this isn't sushi, but it's a way to try Asian food that a lot of people who don't love Asian food will order this dish. Have you ever heard of pad thai?
No.
Okay. It's basically just rice noodles, peanut sauce. So if you like peanut butter, which I assume you do.
Sure.
It's going to taste like a peanutty rice chicken dish. Or not even rice, rice noodles. So it's noodles, it's kind of a peanut sauce, and it's chicken. If you want to add maybe some broccoli, some other things to that, you can, but you don't have to. It's a really good entry-level Asian dish.
Salads are delicious, but broccoli's probably my favorite vegetable. People are asking about shrimp tempura. I don't eat shrimp.
That's off?
Seafood. I don't eat any.
You don't like shrimp?
Not a single thing that comes out of the sea do I want to eat.
Okay.
Or the lake or the pond. None of it. And I used to be... people will be like, oh, just try this. And this stupid line that it tastes like chicken. Well, then let me eat chicken.
Yeah.
I don't need it. If it tastes like chicken, but not quite chicken, then I just would rather have the chicken.
You really need to open the door. And I mean like throw the doors open and enter the magical wonderland that is Asian-style chicken. Because there are so many variants that if you like chicken.
Teriyaki chicken.
Oh, my gosh.
But when it comes to chicken, if I get even a teeny tiny funny bite of chicken, I'm done for a while.
A teeny tiny funny bite. Describe that.
Okay, first of all, we've already gone over when I went to, what restaurant was it? And I asked them if they used all white chicken breast meat in the drive-thru, and they just stopped talking to me in the drive-thru. She was so, and then the answer was, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Wait, I do remember that.
Yeah, I can't.
That wasn't long ago.
I think it was a Wendy's. I wanted to know. I think it was. I know that it was after a track meet in Belleville. And I will not eat a piece of chicken on a sandwich if it is the spongy kind of processed chicken. I need it to look like I will take the chicken and pull it apart to make sure that the chicken shreds kind of.
Okay.
So that you know that it's an actual piece of chicken breast. Now, I like a chicken sandwich. That's totally fine, but it needs to be real chicken. And What was the question that you asked before? You said I need to.
Yeah, open your mind.
Yeah, throw open the doors into the world of Asian chicken.
I don't like that kind of chicken. If I'm eating a whole chicken breast, which I completely understand. If you're eating a whole chicken breast, it is the breast of a cluck chicken. And if that is the case, there might be a vein or some body part in there that doesn't look like the pull-apart chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It might bounce back a little bit when you eat.
Ew.
I'm done. Not eating any more chicken for a while.
Then you're probably not going to want to do Chinese chicken.
Well, not a cheap Chinese restaurant.
Not a cheap Chinese chicken. Chicken of China. The
Chinese
chicken.
You have a drumstick. And
your brain starts clicking?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Watch the X-Files.
With the lights, with no lights on.
The dollar rays on. What is that line? I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I hope the smoking man's in this one.
Like Harrison Ford. I'm being
Getting frantic.
Like Sting, I'm tantric.
Ooh.
Guaranteed to satisfy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man.
All of that to say.
Somebody diagram this segment, please.
Is that flagpole sit up?
Where are we going? No.
The
bare naked ladies.
Right before we started this segment, do you remember what I said?
I don't have anything. You want to go home?
Yeah.
This is really evidence of that. So thank you. I will bring it back and say, after all of these things that you're saying, well, I don't like this, I wouldn't do this, I still think pad thai is the way to go for you.
Well, I'll take recommendations.
Yeah, write that down.
Rick once
PAD.
says, what do you eat, Annie Fry? What do you guys see me eat?
I see you eat chicken strips, all white meat. I've seen you eat burgers, cheeseburgers. Like you said, sharp cheddar, but cheeseburgers.
I don't watch you eat. It's kind of weird.
I was going to say. I generally eat.
Yeah, pizza.
Okay, so Brad has witnessed me eating burgers and fried chicken fingers and pizza.
Chicken wings.
That's not really my diet, but
We've gone to Buffalo Wild.
yeah, boneless.
Yeah.
Every day I eat 2 Greek yogurts in the morning with a protein shake, a Premier chocolate protein shake, and I have a coffee. And that has me around, I think, 60 grams of protein. And that usually carries me until about 4 or 5 o'clock where I eat whatever we eat at home. My husband makes roasts and noodles and all of that stuff, but it's all very like steak and taters.
There's nothing wrong with steak and taters.
Mm-mm.
Don't get me wrong. I just think that they're, like you said, if you haven't had it since you're a kid, maybe it's time to at least dip a toe in the waters.
Probably not. David says filet mignon for Annie, no bones. That is what I get when we go eat steak.
That's what we just got.
You give half of it to Hannah
on Saturday.
That was a big piece of meat.
Yeah, it
And
was.
She ate the rest of the meat on my plate. That actually did happen. All right, let's take a quick break. I need to know from you guys, should Donald Trump agree to debate Kamala Harris again? Yes or no? We'll talk about that when we come back. Get to some of your comments as well. Betsy says no. Some states have already started voting, I think. No point. Ender says, nah, I've only said it about 100 times, but these debates aren't debates. And therefore are pointless. They've devolved into crap slinging contests. That's not wrong. Ray says, but I would like to see Vance and Walz go at it. I guess that's in addition to a regular debate. He's looking forward to the vice president debate. And John said Trump should debate again, but only if it's on Fox. As if Kamala is going to agree to that. Let us know what you think on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show.
Air Comfort Service online at aircomfortservice.com. The fall weather is creeping in right now, and you need to be ready for those cooler temperatures as they set in. If your home always felt cold or your furnace runs all day and you just don't feel like you can keep your house warm, you need to call Air Comfort Service, 314-513-0091, 513-0091. There's a couple of things that could be the case outside of a furnace that's not doing the trick. If it's blowing that warm air and it's running all day, it should be warming your home. There are a few things that could be the case other than the quality of your furnace. The first one is insulation. You need to make sure that the insulation in your home is keeping the warm air inside. Air Comfort Service can help you with that. You also may need to attend to the ductwork in your home to make sure that that warm air isn't leaking out of the ductwork as the warm air is being moved through your home. If either of these sound like they might be a concern for you, call my friends and the team at the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation offices. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station, and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, October 1st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Thomas and Bob with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering what to do with your life savings? Are you concerned how this coming election can affect the stock market and your retirement? Would you like to have a personalized structured income plan that shows you the monthly income you can receive and how to never outlive it?
Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss the last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 1st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
97.1 and thousands of music options, plus millions of podcasts are all on the free Odyssey app. Download the app or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 and it comes up automatically. 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Fry Show.
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me, touching you, got you touching me. I believe in a big corner of
This song by The Darkness is from 2003.
Yeah.
I think I always thought it was from the 80s.
Well, it's supposed to sound like an 80s song. So
Well, it
they did their
does.
job. Yeah, it's supposed to sound like a hair metal song.
I said before we came on, I go, what was the approximate year of this? I was thinking, I guess 90s. And you said 2010.
I said 2010. Yeah, I thought it was a little later than 2003.
I guess I thought when it came on the scene, 2003 would have been my freshman year of college. I guess I thought that it was a throwback. I don't know. It was so uncool.
It is a throwback. I mean, it's
but it's a new song.
It's a newer song, yeah.
It's not what would be considered an oldie now. Do you remember when we were growing up and listening to KLOU 103.3 and it was oldies and it was like barbershop bops?
Yeah, it was all 50s
The
stuff.
Turtles.
Yeah.
So that would have been what, the 90s? That music was 40 years old?
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
See, I think by the 90s, especially the late 90s, it was starting to be more into the 60s.
I saw a post the other day, and it said, you know that car that Mr. Miyagi gave to Danielson? It was a 1948 Ford. If Mr. Miyagi gave Daniel a car today, it'd be an 87 Ford.
Yeah.
That sucks.
If Marty McFly traveled back as many years as he did in the original, that one's going around right now too. He would travel back to 1994.
That's awful.
That was fourth grade.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
That's so bad.
All the years whatever the year was, that's the year I finished that grade, which is why it's so easy for me to always, so if it's 1997, I finished 7th grade in 1997. Super helpful.
Doesn't it seem like every decade in the 1900s, whatever that is called, that 100-year span?
The 20th century.
20th century. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Doesn't it seem like every decade is so much more defined than they are now? Like, if you say the 50s, you have a very specific thought that comes to mind when you think of the 50s.
It's because things change so much more quickly now because we're in a digital age.
It just seems like it all, after 2000, it just kind of blends.
It's because you don't have a solid decade worth of...
Also, you're old now.
Totally, but I was not even around in the 50s and 40s and 60s, so I don't have like first-hand experience of that.
Most people would say the 40s, 50s, and 60s, but you can do it however you want.
I go all over the place.
Did you say the 50s, the 40s, and the 60s?
The 40s and the 60s.
That makes it seem like they're from different millennia.
See? And every time I said it, you had a thought. Oh, that's what that was like.
I had thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys think that
They
Donald
call it
Trump...
the 20th century.
You think that Donald Trump should agree to debate Kamala Harris again?
Yeah, I do.
Why? Why?
I just don't think she's very good, and that was maybe the best she could possibly do. And if she's wanting to do it again, I would imagine that her answers would be the exact same as the last one.
All of her answers were just trying to pick on Donald Trump's thin skin. She didn't answer anything. She just was like, oh, and you should see how small his rallies are. I mean, that's all she did.
She did do that. But whenever they'd ask her about her economic plans and stuff, she's saying things like, well, we want to give away $25,000 to people to buy houses and stuff. You're like, these aren't economic plans. These are just little, like, stimulus programs that you want to come up with on day one.
How can I take these people's money and give it to these people over here?
Yeah, but if you don't have people following up and pressing her on it, then it just makes her look like she's Santa Claus.
Well, that's why he should not agree to do one unless it's on a network among these. He can pick a few and say, as long as it's one of these, I'll do it.
Which ones?
Fox, Newsmax, maybe News Nation, things like that.
Do you think he should?
No, I don't think he should. I kind of always thought this way about him, but I don't know that he's the best debater. He's the best bomb thrower out there. There's nobody that can toss a bomb like Donald Trump. But that doesn't work on somebody like Kamala Harris. It didn't work on Joe Biden, and the reason it didn't work on Joe Biden is because it makes that person seem sympathetic. It's not going to work on Kamala Harris because that's exactly what she wants him to do, and that way it makes her look like a victim and him look like a bully. And if he doesn't have any better self-control than what we saw in the last one, I don't think it helps him. And also, to your point, Annie, it was 3-on-1, and there's no way she's going to do a debate on Fox. There's no way she's going to do a town hall style debate.
Zero chance.
There's no way. So it's like walking into an ambush when you know it's going to be an ambush.
Let's ask these questions. What does Trump have to gain, measurable gain, from debating again? What can he do? What can he say? How could he get people to shift in a way that he couldn't if he doesn't debate?
Yeah, I think if he comes out and really is disciplined with his message on the economy, I think he can make people focus back on his number one issue. That would be the gain.
What's his number one issue?
The economy. If he's disciplined in talking about that.
But I think he could do that better if he went on to Fox and did a town hall, and Kamala Harris doesn't even have to be there.
When you say if he can do that, what's the percentage chance that he can execute that in the way that he needs to execute it in order to make the impact that would make it worthwhile, worth the risk?
I'd give it about a 5%. I mean, I think there's a gradient there. I don't think it's just that he knocked it out of the park. But he could not take the bait, which he did a lot in that first debate, the bait out of the debate. He could stay on message. I mean, immigration's another one where unfortunately, he's saying different things than any politician has ever said. However, he's been in the public conversation now for over 10 years, and he's saying the same thing that he's always said. So I would like to hear some new things out of him. Maybe he could debut that at a debate.
Why would he need new things if the old things worked?
Well, I hope that they are. That's what I'm saying. I hope that those things are
not
working.
work to get him elected, but the results should be what get him elected. He doesn't need new ideas if his ideas were working and growing the economy. The problem that Trump is up against now is Kamala Harris is positioning herself as the change candidate, even though she's part of the current administration. Trump, you're right on immigration and you're right on the economy. Those are Trump's two strong suits. The third leg of that stool that he needs to do is he needs to tie Kamala Harris back to the Biden administration. She's part of it. It's the Biden-Harris administration. She's the last person in the room. Whenever anything happens, she's the last person in the room. She might be the one in the room with Jill making the decisions now, because who knows what Joe Biden's up to. But I can't look at the debate and say, hey, there's anything that Trump can gain from going on a debate that Kamala Harris even needs to be there for. Just do town halls and talk to the people directly. Go on Fox, see if CNN will organize one, I don't think MSNBC will, but see if any of these other stations will organize a town hall that he'll go on and go just talk to the people. Kamala Harris doesn't need to be there. She's just a placeholder candidate anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I apologize for having an opinion on this.
Do you think, Ryan, that there's more... The risk reward for Kamala Harris, how much does she need it, and how much is she risking by having a second debate for Kamala Harris?
Yeah, she must need it. I think that's what we're coming to, is that she wouldn't be challenging him to another debate if she didn't need to gain something. So I think the risk reward for her is probably greater to do a debate than it would be to not do a debate, because the
reward is higher for Kamala.
Yeah, that she needs to gain some ground, and she thinks that's a way to do it.
What about Trump?
The lower side, I think the worst that could happen to Trump was what happened in the first debate, which was not even really that bad. It was just...
Was it good?
I don't know that it was good or bad. It's weird because, I watch polls and stuff, and the polls after that debate were so strange because they said that the majority of America, 50-something percent, so not overwhelming majority, but a majority, said that Harris won the debate. They also polled people on key issues, and people felt more strongly that Donald Trump was better on those key issues after that debate than Kamala Harris. So it was a very strange thing. And I think that's kind of what would happen in a second debate, is even if he was at his worst, which you could argue that was about, I don't want to say as bad as he could do, but it was kind of baseline Trump. If you get just baseline Trump again, he's hammering home those same issues. I don't know that it's a negative for him.
Chuck says the Dems and the media will stack the deck against Trump. It will be as unfair as they can make it, just like the last debate. Why would Trump want to give that gift to the vacuous Kamala Harris? No. Ryan?
Okay, on behalf of the debate people.
Yeah.
Why would
Does it
Trump
feel a little bit like 3-on-1 to you?
want to give?
You don't like it, do you?
Do you feel like you're winning?
Here's the post-segment polling shows that people were hearing you guys and thinking, man, I don't know. They make some strong points, but Wiggins really came away the winner there. That's what the post-segment polling was saying.
We're not even done with the segment yet.
Don't worry about that.
Answer the question.
I'm going to end the current poll and add a new one. See if you got your head on straight here.
Don't worry about it. But why should he walk into a room and give the vacuous media complex their win? Is that the question? Something like that?
I'll read it slower this time. Why would Trump want to give that gift to the vacuous Kamala Harris?
To Kamala Harris. See, I don't think he would be giving her a gift.
You don't think that by Trump agreeing to a debate that's not playing directly into Kamala Harris's plans?
No, although the case could be made that because she wants to have one, that's
the case.
that she thinks that it would be nothing but a win. But I don't think that it would be because, again, I just don't think people listen to her and him, even if he's not having his best day, and walk away going, well, she's got it figured out and he doesn't. You know, he's still stronger on the issues, even if he doesn't have a great debate. And again, I will say this, that I don't believe that he should just walk into a debate. He should say, here are my terms. I will do it if it's with these journalists or this network or whatever.
Ryan, it sounds to me like what you're saying that Trump's advantage or positive outcome would be that Kamala Harris would step on a rake and basically sabotage her own campaign.
I don't think Kamala Harris ever doesn't step on a rake, is what I'm saying.
Well, she didn't in the last debate.
Yeah, I think she did. She did stuff that just turned people off. She didn't talk about issues. She had a good performance, like the veneer was fine, but that's all her campaign is veneer. And I think that came through even in that debate.
But it's been enough to get her this far.
I mean, she's still in it. Like, the polls didn't swap and it become a landslide for Trump.
Yeah, but it didn't go the other way either.
It didn't matter. Not gain. She's not going to gain if he doesn't debate.
Yeah.
I guess you guys showed me.
Dale says no reason to debate. It's always 3-on-1. He does rallies, town halls, and podcasts and answers the questions. She does none of it hardly. What I would like to see them do is a debate in the sense that they have get a high-profile podcaster. I don't even care. It could be like Bill Maher or somebody like that, and have each candidate have the same conversation, the same list of questions with that podcaster, and then produce where it can't be released without the approval, the blessing of both candidates for their part. You ask a question, the candidate gets 3 minutes to answer the question. Maybe the interviewer gets one follow-up to press, correct, or dive deeper, so that they're not there at the same time, but they are being asked the same questions, and you can compare those answers. But to do it with somebody who's high profile, who, if they do have a political lean, people still perceive them to be fair, which Bill Maher, I know what his political lean is, but I still consider him to be fairer than most people. And I'm trying to think of somebody on the right that the left would consider to be fair. I don't know that person exists. They're so butthurt about everything. And another thing, we saw some comments on our YouTube live chat right now, and people are asking about something. Did you see the latest things that Donald Trump posted on Truth? Listen, there are two kinds of people who are on Truth Social reading Donald Trump's tweets. Both of those people are guaranteed voting for somebody already. There is not a single person who is on their own checking Truth Social posts that's like, gosh, I just don't know. That person doesn't exist. The people who are checking in to Donald Trump's posts on Truth Social, they need a hit, one way or the other, to affirm their love and affection or their insatiable hatred and disgust. And they need a hit. I need more. I need another one. And just please post another one on Truth Social. I just need a little bit. There it is. That's it. That's the way these people are. And it's weirder if you hate them and you're doing it. So but those people are there.
You're saying that Trump should not talk as much to the Fetterman-Trump Pennsylvania voter.
Fetterman's
on
like,
Truth Social.
Fetterman's like, Pennsylvania likes Trump. and the people who are the super far right or the super far left are like, but Truth Social, what about Truth Social? Did you see what he said? And every normal person out there is like, no. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay.
End of the segment. We'll just.
Oh, we're just going to end the segment here?
We're just going to let this.
What
speak.
makes you think that we need to end the segment here?
Debate moderator.
Yeah.
Even though he would be biased, Joe Biden.
Who does he hate more?
I don't know.
We would find out at the end. I'm okay with that. Let's do it.
If you want to get some viewership.
No cue cards, though.
Nothing. He's going to go out there cold, stone cold.
All I want to do is see Kamala Harris defend Joe Biden.
As if he'd go out there any other way.
In front of Joe Biden.
See? Now we're talking big audience.
That would be...
You can do that on CBS if you want. I don't care.
Donald Trump should agree to that in a heartbeat. He should suggest it. Man, I like that idea. Well, Ryan, we're glad we could have this chat with you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Chris says, our friend Chris says, yes, I want another debate, a fair one if it's possible. That shouldn't be a caveat. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance. If you're looking to buy or sell in Illinois, Jen Teskey and RE/MAX Alliance, they're your folks. 618-541-1010. 618-541-1010. You get that big sister treatment from the beginning to the very end of the process of your home listing. Even if the conversation is starting when you call 618-541-1010 and you're like, I'm kind of thinking about selling my house. I hear the market's going a little crazy here. Is this a good time? Should I wait 3 months? Should I wait 6 months? Should I wait till next spring? Whatever. You talk to Jen Teskey, and she'll be able to help you look at your home and figure out how to position it for the best sell, get you on the right timeline so you can make that top dollar. She is an expert in the Illinois areas, especially considering Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, Maryville, Troy, and Collinsville, those surrounding areas. Jen Teskey and the RE/MAX Alliance team are going to guide you through that process with ease. 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010. Online at jenteskeyhomes.com.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need the best. Let us make your case our cause. Car accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at ThrottleNet, and you've probably heard George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet on the show. He's a technology whiz, and George and his team can educate you and your business on the dangers lurking with technology. Here's a unique opportunity along those lines. Does your company have a lunch and learn or guest speakers? For a limited time, ThrottleNet is providing free lunch and learns to provide cybersecurity awareness training. One click can cause a ton of damage to your business. ThrottleNet is determined to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does, they're the cybersecurity experts who can help. ThrottleNet is known for high customer satisfaction, averaging 99% happiness with over 35,000 surveys. They have an industry-leading response time of less than 2 minutes. And no clients of ThrottleNet have ever paid ransom as a result of a cyber attack. Contact ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971 and we can schedule your free company lunch. Don't miss out. Find out more today about ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971.
The Any Fry YouTube live chat poll of the day: should Donald Trump agree to debate Kamala Harris again? No. Yes or no?
No.
We haven't really made our thoughts known on this yet. We'd love to hear yours. Type in Annie Fry on YouTube, and the poll will come up. Let us know what you think. No. I mean, we're impartial.
The poll is on today's live broadcast in the live chat
on YouTube. 247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way.
Every day, Carl Middleman from the morning show picks the music for our show. We like to try to keep it upbeat. And today he had Disturbed's Sound of Silence and Cats in the Cradle.
Oh, nice.
Those are the two most saddest songs ever put together.
Cats in the Cradle. There are moments that song is like, wow, what a good song. And others that you're like, this song's kind of funny right now.
Funny?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it doesn't fit most circumstances. You don't want to get reflective all the time. But when you're in that mood, that's a great song. Like going into the last segment of the day, we're probably going to talk about Chinese food and who knows what else.
Let's reflect on our relationships with our fathers.
Let me think about my dad. Let me think about what my kid thinks about his dad.
What does your kid think about his dad?
He thinks he's all right.
Has that changed over the course? I mean, when your children are little, they think that you are the best. I mean, you are the best thing on the planet to them. And I don't know that feeling really changes so much, but the manifestation of it absolutely does.
Yeah, my oldest son is 10 now, and he's very he's kind of a people pleaser. He wants to make sure that everybody's like doing the right thing. He wants to make sure that he's doing the right thing. As he's starting to get a little bit older into that phase of rebelliousness, it's weird to watch it manifest where you go, hey, go put away your clothes or whatever. And he's like, okay.
This progression is happening right in front of your face.
Yeah, where he doesn't want to do it. He's making that known, but he's also so prone to be the good kid that he's going to do it anyway.
Are any of your kids exactly like you? Is there one that's like, that's me?
No, not really. They all have different characteristics. My daughter in particular is just, she's creatively driven 100% of the time. My youngest looks that way
Are
too.
any of them just like your wife?
No, we're a nice mix.
Yeah.
Everybody's got some different characteristics of everybody.
I've got a daughter who is just like me.
I know which one.
I know. And I have to, like, when she's doing the things that I do that are not the best versions of me and she's at 100%, I look at my husband and I leave the room and he's like, good decision.
Oh, okay.
It's hard. It's hard to see. Well, I mean, I think the thing that's difficult about it, I think everybody goes through this and you reflect. There's nature and there's nurture. You're born with certain characteristics. And then you go through life and you're raised in a particular way. And the way you were raised reflects on how you react to certain situations or whatever. And in some ways, it makes you into the best version of yourself. And in some ways, it doesn't. And then when you see your kid doing those things that at 40 years of age, I have learned and recognized the parts of me that I like the least. And it is 100% of the time an active pursuit to not let those things take control. So basically, I'm always doing some version of what my intuition, what my natural reflexive reaction would be to a certain situation. I'm always like trying to pull it back and hold it back. But when you're younger and you haven't learned 40 years of lessons of why doing it this way is never really going to make matters better for you, and you should really work hard to push back against that. When your child hasn't learned those lessons yet and they're doing the things, it's just like a very, very raw reflection that makes you feel, that's the problem. It makes you feel bad about yourself, not about your kid. It's hard to deal with that as yourself, which is when you high five your partner and say, this one's on you. And my husband and I, like, there are things that my son will do that my husband sees 100% of himself in a way that he doesn't love. And that's when I step in. It's difficult, though.
Don't you see some of that stuff and it just makes you smile, though? I mean, even the negative stuff, it's almost laughable when you see it in a reflection back at you. It almost cracks me up when I see it, even if it's negative. I'm like, of course that you're doing that. That's what I do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very competitive. My husband's very competitive, but not at all to a fault. I definitely am competitive to a fault. And that's rooted in, admittedly, I've never done therapy. I've never gone to therapy. I have no problem with therapy, but I read a lot and I am very self-reflective. I know that my roots of being so obnoxiously internally competitive are based on insecurities you have when you're young and you're growing up. The reason why you're competing is because you feel like you're not good enough. Now, the way of the middle school girl is not to make yourself better, not to find a better version of yourself, but to squash down everything in your way. And so then you feel better about yourself because everything else sucks. That's middle school. But I think knowing that, like, I have had to, and I really was able to learn this lesson in an impactful way as an official, because I was an IHSA volleyball official for about 10 years. And I did a lot of grade school games, did a lot of Lutheran school grade school games. And I realized that the competition at that level, people work so hard. You know what it's like? Your kids are, you said 10?
Mm-hmm. 10, 10, and 7.
In everybody else's world, that stuff doesn't matter. But in their world, they're working their tails off to be the best they can be. They want to compete. They want to compete at a high level. The families know what it costs, literally. The time sacrifice that it costs, literally. So everybody's pouring into this, and you want the best for them. And you want to see success, which usually looks like wins, but you can also see success in like, wow, they're competing at a much higher level, and maybe it doesn't materialize in a win, but you can still measure it that way. But, I mean, in my mind, I can think of multiple instances where the win is the only thing that matters. And when entities focus only on winning and they achieve a win, when you walk in the gym and you think that that's the only possible outcome, they never really leave the gym happily satisfied. And it's not really a good place to be. The constant pursuit of winning, the joy that comes along with that is usually in the preparation and the competition that takes place. The ultimate satisfaction, of course, is that victory. But what I learned as an official is that there's so much more joy that can be had outside of just the what's your record. And I had to watch teams play and compete and see how teams would get better over the course of a season, how you can celebrate, especially with children, like you can celebrate individual victories in a way that makes it even more joyful. That the idea of like winning at all costs and that's the only thing that matters is so toxic. And I'm still a super competitive person, but I had to watch it from a third-party objective position as an official where I had no dog in the fight and I just needed to call the game and be done with it to really embrace that. And that really helped me measure on the other side, like competition is good, wanting to achieve your best is good, and be serious about it, but like you can have fun along the way also. I don't know. My daughter is super competitive about everything. And so we're always like, okay, ease up there, sister.
Mm-hmm. My son is too. One thing that I've learned from him and from this segment is that it's much more about the journey than it is the outcome.
I don't like your mocking tone.
I'm not mocking you at all.
Because I mean that. I really do mean that. And I don't mean it in some sort of platitude kind of way that like we can spend, good Lord, there are people out there just waiting for you to spend your money to them so that you can win. And then you win. And then what? You get to your early bedtime and take melatonin and you're poor. It's just so upside down. It's kind of like what we've talked about with Am I Racist? Like they've turned this thing into an industry. Good grief. Youth sports. What a scam.
That is an industry
for
sure.
Scam. But more on that later. The YouTube live chat poll, should Donald Trump agree to debate again? 67% agree with Brad and me.
No,
So we win.
Yay.
No.
1/3 of you, though, think he should. I think that's a pretty close
It pretty
split.
much reflects the room.
Yeah, it literally reflects the room. Stick around. The Mark Reardon Show next.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
Experience the beauty of custom-crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin, proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong, they're 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
RulerFoods.com. Guess what? We're going to be at Ruler Foods in St. Charles on West Clay Street tomorrow, and we need you to show up in a big, big way to help us raise diapers for the St. Louis area diaper bank. And Princess Storm with Hot 104.1 is going to be there as well. This is her diaper drive, and this is our 3rd year of partnering with Hot 104.1 and Princess Storm to make sure those babies' bottoms have diapers. Come on, folks. This is where we show up in a really big way, and it all is taking place tomorrow at the Ruler Foods in St. Charles. So go visit Ruler Foods, and you can also go and maybe even for the first time, shop Ruler Foods and see how the prices beat the competition. You can buy your diapers there tomorrow at Ruler Foods. You can also do your other grocery shopping there. You can come by and swing by with a donation if you so choose. Bring diapers from wherever you come, but join us at the Ruler Foods in St. Charles, broadcasting live from noon to 3 Wednesday. That's tomorrow. RulerFoods.com.
If you've been dragging your feet waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your debt, start an overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call at 314-336-6050. Interest rates have come down and home values are up. I'm here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your first home, your dream home, or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I will give you straightforward answers and develop a plan that fits your goals. My direct number is 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage, LLC, 224143, NMLS 250353.